You guys know the tape never lies.
I do want to address some of the things that I've heard about the relationship between Kevin and I that couldn't be further from the truth. We spend almost every single day together talking about solutions and direction of where we want to be and where we're going to go. It is so far from the truth. It was a little disappointing to hear that, to be honest.
Ryan is at the end of his contract, and his new coach would be starting his contract.
I mean, there are a lot of assumptions in your question. When we say long-term, I mean, a year is a lifetime. And
there's going to be some names that you don't expect that are going to surprise you because we're digging deeper than we ever have before.
Ryan, what assurances will you give candidates about the power structure inside Hallis Hall, about who they work for, about the clarity there? There seems to be some questions.
Yeah, no, so I'll end up selecting the coach. I'm taking the lead on that, and George and Kevin have put me in charge of that. And that'll be the relationship between the coach and I.
The organization set up this coaching search and is trying to make it as attractive as his job as possible. Were you given a contract extension?
I've said from the day I've been hired, I'm not going to get into my contract. That I just think it's a very personal thing in terms of how much I'm making and how long I'm making it.
Your plan for Caleb was very specific and very elaborate.
Yep.
His entire rookie season was subjected to disruption and stress. What?
Can you explain the disruption and the stress part?
Offensive coordinator got fired, his head coach got fired. Through a lot of turmoil throughout the course of his rookie season.
You mentioned this leadership group. Can you expand on who else that is and why it's important that they're involved in your search here?
Yeah, so that goes into our SVP group on the business side. I think it's really important. Kevin and I talk about all the time, just the continuity between football and business. That's one thing we take a lot of pride on here. So it's important when we get to the right phase that they're involved as well.
After 3 seasons in this job, what do you point to as your most significant accomplishments here?
But I would suggest that instead of shouting over each other, you respect each other and take turns.
George, how often do you reflect on your own performance as chairman? Do you ever think about that maybe someone else should be stepping into that role? How long do you plan on staying in this role? Is there a succession plan?
Ultimately, I'm responsible for the failures of the Bears.
14 years that you've been in charge, the Bears have hired 3 general managers and 4 coaches. What evidence is there that you learned from these processes?
Eileen?
Given the way the last 3 years have unfolded, why was it the right move to retain Ryan Gould?
We like his leadership. We like the staff that he's assembled. He has a couple of people on his staff, Ian Cunningham and Jeff King, who probably should be general managers for another NFL team. The communication has been excellent. And he's in a business where in the player personnel department, there are going to be hits and there are going to be misses. And the key is you have to have more hits than misses. So that is the challenge for him and for his staff.
At the Seattle game near the end of it, there's some pretty loud chants from the fans that were there, sell the team. Sell the team! Sell the team! Sell the team! What was your reaction? I'm sure you heard it or heard about it. What was your reaction to that?
Yeah, it's understandable. As Kevin mentioned, our fans are passionate. They're incredibly frustrated. They wanted to make their voices heard. I was more bothered by the week before when Lions fans tried to take over Soldier Field. She's pissed off. I can't think of a 91-year-old woman that description would apply to, but in this case, I can't think of a more accurate description.
You've got to be kidding me! Come on! No! I can't! Oh my god! Oh my god! We stink!
Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear!
No.
Oh, got it.
Now they have a chance to win the game. What was that call? Come on.
Let's
Block
show,
it. Miss it.
Let's show
Corey,
Lambeau.
say it, Corey. Say it.
Fucking miss it. Miss it, you fuck. Let's go. Oh, blocking! No, it's good.
Got it. Well, that was it. The Bears get their revenge. Packers come up short.
It's one of the most embarrassing losses of the Matt LaFleur era. I'm Peter Mccaskey.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100!
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's going to make everybody better.
The tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100!
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it. He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the fake and anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're moused up like the true and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names in 2 fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the up there. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby. Keep it 100!
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
100.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the
Keep it 100!
Keeping it 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what is good, TTNL family? I am back. So I didn't get to wish y'all a happy new year last week. So happy new year, everyone. Of course, season is over. We do close it out with a win against the Pack, but so much to get into about this coaching search and of course all of the press conferences. I know we've heard some opinions, but we haven't heard DDP's thoughts on it. So can't wait to hear what he has to say. Without further ado, let me just go ahead and bring in the guys that y'all really came to see. Mr. Shane, smartest man Marcel, and Mr. Draft Dr. Phil.
What's up, Cherie?
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Glowing like a salmon, Phil.
Glowing like a teriyaki salmon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Everybody trying to figure out what the fuck we're talking about. But
I think half the show I'm on, they're trying to figure out what all our inside jokes.
Oh, here we are yet again, back on our home night, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, keeping it 100. Unlike
right.
George Mccaskey.
Yeah. George the liar.
Don't you have that clip?
Yeah, I can load it up and.
Cherie's
You know
right.
that
I have not had my moment, although I still hear Ivan's screams still echoing around the planet.
Oh my God, it was so
Flat
funny
Earth.
last night.
I get out of the board meeting. I didn't even know he was doing a show. He's calling me while I was in a football board meeting, and I get out. He's still yelling.
He did that the whole time, so.
But we reached into the Wayback Book tonight, Phil. We went with the long open. I'm sure there's going to be some nice comments.
Oh, you're gonna get some complaints.
Sorry, bloke.
Oh, who put in the moo sounds with the Packer ladies? Oh boy!
Has anyone even talked about before I get the fact that those Packer fans are pushing the players? Like if the Bears fans did that, there'd be a
that was the other way.
uproar.
I mean,
Peter Schrager would have an emergency meeting.
They shouldn't be trying to jump up. That's the Pack, and I'm like, no, fuck that. That was in Chicago, and that shit happened. It would be leading Sports Center.
Oh yeah,
and they'd blame it on Caleb Williams.
They probably would blame it on
This is
Caleb.
why you don't bring in this fucking guy. This is why you trade down. This is why you extend Justin for $250 million. That's where we'd be at right now.
I will say, to play devil's advocate, it was their home turf, and shouldn't know. Like if I was a Packers fan, not cut that up. But I understand not allowing someone else doing the Lambeau Leap.
Well, they've done it at our stadium as well with their fans. So fuck
discount double check and Aaron Rodgers flipping off the
jumped
fans.
into
I
the,
own you.
They've jumped into the Soldier Field with where Packer fans. George bought tickets at Soldier Field because your team sucks. So they were available right down there, and Packer players. It has happened every game at Soldier Field, actually, and we've lost.
Need to better defend.
We're not good.
I'm not mad at anybody defending their home turf. So I will say
I am. Keep your
I don't have
fucking
anything against them.
shitty hands off our players.
Mm.
Your cheese ball hands. Especially the girl yelling at them like that. What does she think she is? Ivan?
She's the owner, Phil. She's got a she's got a
that's
flag.
right.
Everything.
She's part owner.
Yeah. Look what our owner does.
At the Seattle game near the end of it, there's some pretty loud chants from the fans that were there, sell the team. What was your reaction? I'm sure you heard it or heard about it. What was your reaction to that?
Yeah, it's understandable. As Kevin mentioned, our fans are passionate. They're incredibly frustrated. They wanted to make their voices heard. I was more bothered by the week before when Lions fans tried to take over Soldier Field and force the home team to go to a silent snap count. Fortunately, that didn't happen. It's understandable that Bears fans would sell their tickets because of the way the season has gone. And the challenge for us is to put a team on the field that Bears fans are so excited about, they're not interested in selling their tickets.
There he is. The
Thanks,
clown.
George. Call out the fans, and you did the same thing.
That's where we could start, because I thought the entire presser, as I said in my post, was a pathetic display. The same old, embarrassing, really. I know 670 the score did a great job going back, and that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, the audio is even more.
We could pull that up and play it. It's just pathetic. I mean, you saw it in Jack's Open there, with Virginia's pissed off. That was 10 years ago that she was pissed off. What is she now? That's my question.
Older,
more pissed off. It's just when you have someone that's born into wealth and got lucky, so to speak, by God, and they have this entitlement that portrays itself in such a way that is so cringeworthy and disgusting. That's where it is. We're going to portray that we're a man of the people. And just look at this situation that Shane put together there. We're going to portray that we're a man of the people. He deflected what we did as fans, TTNL, sending the message. He understood, yes, they're pissed off, but I was more upset. No, George, you should be more upset that these people don't want you. This team doesn't want you. They have no faith in you because you're a freaking liar. You've got caught in 2 to 5 lies over the last 3 seasons.
More than that.
And the reality is 2 lies that Shane and TTNL have brought to the surface just in the last week. You're lying. You're an absolute travesty when it comes to a franchise. It's embarrassing the fact that you stand up there, shorten a presser with your GM, keep it short. You fail to broadcast to your fans that you apologize and thank and what the same petty bullshit, pathetic. You don't have the decency to stand at the podium there after the GM fucking pissed down his leg and look like a little bitch. You don't have the decency to stand up at the podium, nor Kevin Warren, and broadcast to the fans that you supposedly care so much about. We have to get quotes from beat writers, and then your team is going to clean up and post what it is that you and Kevin said. That's the pathetic Chicago Bears organization. While you're trying to find the new head coach that's going to come in here, rip off his fucking suit, and become Superman, having to deal with your putrid, pathetic, ego, narcissistic, complete travesty of an owner. You are soft. You are so petty. You have learned, I'll give you this, you have learned how to deal with the press over the years, because I went back and watched how you handled Jerry Angelo's presser, and even that one where she's pissed off. So before you start looking down on people because they curse, because they have an authenticity that marries up with the sport that you're so a fan of, how about you take some fucking notes? How about you take some notes? Stop with the soft. Stop with the lies. It's so embarrassing that this Detroit Lions gambler or whatever wealthy guy bought your luxury box and brought your mom won't let anybody wear bear shit in there. But guess what? Those Detroit Lions fans that were so loud in your fucking box, you dick, were all wearing Lions gear.
I think those are separate. I think she's got her own, and then George has his also. But either way, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. It's
like the biggest shit pile of hypocrisy. The owner is an embarrassment. You're not even an owner. You're a chairman. You're a part owner with a family of fucking psychopaths. There's so much research being done by this team in regard when you look back at Muggs Hallis and all of this shit, the Honey Bears, and you start looking at this and you're like, oh my God, this woman is a psychopath No wonder her son is just the same. I am going to keep it 100 no matter what. I don't even know where this woman is. But to allow this guy to continue on this journey of completely screwing over the Bears, and I'm telling you, you TTNL fans have known this for a long time. I was able to travel with this team and see it behind the curtain like the Wizard of Oz. Saw George, saw Ted, saw how they interact, saw the same stuck-up, snobby bullshit. There's no family. There's no embracing a culture. There's no identity. It was exactly what I said, a clown show with a shoe salesman because he was hired because he's easy. He's a yes man who's going to lick the feet that you walk on for that job. And that's how you handle. Got Mike Vrabel interview tonight. His big personality. You think George can handle a fucking alpha? He doesn't even know what that is. His wife probably smacks him up and down. It's the kind of person he is. Go fucking umpire soccer games, bro. Do that. Get the fuck away from the football. He is I'm more mad at him than anything else. He's a travesty walking. He's a phony and a fraud. I have way more respect for Jerry Jones, any owner in this fucking league, Khan, all of them, than him. He is the problem. He is the problem. There is no ifs, ands, and buts. I told you the story about my Uncle Sam saying there's a problem with that, with the accountant. He was talking about Ted Phillips. But he also talked about the family intruding. You think Johnson's bad? At least Johnson wants to fucking win with the Jets. Might be making the dumb decisions. This guy could care less. Pretending. You know what?
It's hard. You gotta. I mean, the owner in New York is basing decisions off of Madden ratings. I mean,
well, that was the story.
That's even worse than
with his son.
Yeah.
Well, at least his son is doing some research. This guy doesn't know players on his own fucking team, probably.
Yeah, George still playing Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, George is still playing the 85 Bears. That's the problem, guys. Somebody can portray they're nice. And I've seen it. I've met George several times. He portrays a man of the people. Drive a shitty car. Don't flaunt jewelry. Don't be high end, and people will ignore you or just take you as you are. He's got a strategy.
I gotta switch that over, Phil. He's laughing at Matt. I don't think people understand that Matt Campbell's an excellent fucking coach.
I thought Lucas watches the show. I have talked about Matt Campbell being someone I want on this. How did you do that? You can change the font.
Oh yeah.
I was like, why does it look like that?
Yeah, it was like, this dude's got some font.
He's like, did I cook this salmon enough? I'm seeing shit.
Listen.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk. Matt, I don't want to get off my George Mccaskey because it's a problem, but anybody worrying about Matt Campbell is absolutely uneducated when it comes to coaching. What do I need coaching experience.
Phil,
Matt Nagy couldn't lick Matt Campbell's ass.
People are just falling, and I understand the Bears don't deserve the benefit of the doubt, but people are also falling into the trap with whoever is brought up. Oh my, this dude is a fucking joke. No, he's not. He's an excellent football coach. And
Matt Campbell is an excellent
surprised.
I'm surprised when you texted me. I was at the gym. I'm like, holy shit. Okay. Because Matt Campbell out of Iowa State, if you don't know, watch some of their game, counter plays that marry up with one another, power schemes, things that address some of the things that you need as a football team.
This is just
kind
of exactly.
I'm
what
glad you've decided, James, that he isn't. He isn't because he hasn't been. Matt Nagy is an NFL coach. Matt Eberflus is an NFL head coach. Do you understand? Like, don't fucking put Ben Johnson's an NFL coach, a head coach. No, but he's calling plays in the NFL. That doesn't make him shit. Doesn't make him shit. Peter Schrager.
He's not going to get the job. But
I'm never going to say never, but his percentage of getting the job is very small.
Very low. Right.
Yeah, it's a low percentage. But the fact that you have Campbell, someone I've identified as a great motivator, a great teacher of the game of football, has a fucking aggressive power mindset, has coached very, we'd say, below talent football teams and made them competitive beyond. This guy is a great football coach. If Matt Campbell's announced, hey, he is your next head coach, I would be excited because I know Matt Campbell is a motivator, he's a leader, and he's a teacher. That's what he brings to the table. So those prerequisites, he's checking them off. So this is a good sign that they're doing the right. Same with David Shaw. A lot of people are pissing on him. That's a fucking great coach. David Shaw is a great football coach. That would be a really lucky hire. He's never been in the NFL. Does that not make him
not as a head coach?
Not as a head coach.
NFL, yeah.
Right.
But the thing about it is what people need to realize, and I put this in the patron chat earlier today, and what people are losing their fucking mind about having this entire list, and it's too many people. And Phil, you and I talked about this earlier today. You know, if the Bears zeroed in on 3 guys, the media and 90% of the fan base would be like, oh, here's the Bears. Short list. They're not doing their due diligence. So now it's a long list. And it's too much. They don't know who they want. Part of an interview process is there's going to be people that you know going into it are not going to get the job. But they may be very, very good or connected to somebody along the way, and you use it as an information gathering process. That's why these Zoom calls, after they're done, it's going to be pared way down. And then that's when you start tightening the bolts in on the core of the guys that you want. And I understand everybody being pissed off about Mike Vrabel not being on campus and all of that. And Adam Schefter came out tonight, and everybody should listen to Adam Schefter. And he said it would be an upset if Mike Vrabel is not named the next head coach of the New England Patriots. It would be a major upset.
That's why what the Patriots did is pathetic. Because what Shane is talking about, I got so much to say tonight. There's so much to talk about with this team. That's the one thing I laugh at guys that, go cheer for another team. This team can't. Plus, the Bears just give you, if anything, they give you everything to talk about, for God's sake. But when the Patriots bring in 2 guys to cover their ass in the Rooney Rule, that they know damn well they're not even hiring. They're just trying to get that out of the way so they can make an offer for fucking Mike Vrabel. That's pathetic in my book. That's pathetic. Someone's like, wow, they know what they want. Why? I just think it says a hell of a lot. You don't need to hire this guy next Thursday. It's just pathetic to me, especially when it comes to that. I don't know why there's an echo. It's Cherise. But it's pathetic to me that is going on. And then Shane's 100% right. The two-way street of fans and analysts, you know them all. Just go down the list. Dan Orlovsky, Schrager, fake Bear fan A, fake Bear fan B. Keep going. Canty in the morning. LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn. Why are the Bears only interviewing 4 coaches? I mean, you would think they'd cast a large net. Now the Bears are interviewing. We're going to dig deeper than we ever had. Good. That's transparent. That's what you need to do. Because when you didn't dig deep, Bears fans, you came out with Matt Eberflus. Matt fucking Eberflus. And not only that, when you should have fired him, you didn't. And every single one of you knows I'm not going back and deleting our audio and video on how we stood. I stood to get rid of Matt Nagy after one year. I stood to get rid of Matt Eberflus after 1 year because I can see a coach that isn't a coach. So if I say Matt Campbell can be a fucking great head coach in the NFL, that's a good get from the college. I think you should probably listen to me. That's all I'm saying. I think you should listen or go do some research on the guy and look what he's doing in Ames. He ain't going to back down from the job. If you think the kid from Arizona State is a good coach, Matt Campbell is 5 times him. So don't get it twisted. There's not a lot of talent in Ames, although he got Brock Purdy and David Montgomery. But the fact of the matter is and remains is these situations that transpire with the Bears seem to be reoccurring. And one man has been there for them all, and it's been George. So when you catch him in the lies, and he lied about obviously selling, I mean, it's hypocritical, moronic piece of garbage. Like, you can't be that disgraceful.
Right.
First of all, deflecting sell the team when he knows we did that here. I have confirmation of it. So
this is the thing too. Or go ahead, finish up your point.
So he knows that. He deflects it and says he's more upset with the Lions fans coming in and making so much noise. They're both the same thing, you jackass, number one. Number two, you get caught in the biggest, with your hand in the biggest cookie jar of bullshit because you did what all those Bear fans you're trying to snob-tob to, you did the same thing. Come out and apologize for that, or should we take you with a grain of salt? Maybe Olin Kreutz is 100% right about you, George, and your pathetic way you run your franchise. That's why you had to get Kevin Warren in here. Someone to hold your fucking hand. Bringing an HR person into fucking coaches meetings for what? For what? They want to know their fucking health benefits? You're a fucking dummy. The whole organization looks
They're
dumb.
the ones that should be on Zoom.
Yeah.
Sitting in the background. They don't need to be in there.
Fucking Christ. I get so agitated by George. And then Ryan Poles. I mean, you are just pathetic, man. Getting testy when I think Herb asked him about the offensive line. Getting testy when Wiederer, like, you don't know the shit you put your rookie in.
It was so fucking weird. I mean, you're either really, really dumb or just trying to be a dick about it. I mean, can you tell me, could you explain the disruptions? I don't know Jesus Christ.
The disruption.
Fucking
He didn't
the
know
head
the
coach is
disruption.
fucking gone.
How
The
do you
offensive
still have a
coordinator-
job? Seriously.
Yeah. No,
Imagine you saying to me, Phil, the disruptions that you put Caleb through. I mean, what disruptions? Well, Phil, you fired the head coach, you fired the OC, you fired this. You have the worst offensive line. You had the most free runs at the quarterback in the NFL, even though no one's talking about it. And Peter Schrager isn't putting you, despite all of this, on his top 10. Like, it's so pathetic that all these media outlets, this is the pathetic thing. Bears fans need to be better because these media outlets all over are now putting this narrative on Caleb Williams as well. One that doesn't really exist at all. It's just pathetic.
Just let me address Mo here. No, that's not true, Mo. It's Ben has been said to be taking interviews with teams that he could see coaching, and that's it. The Jets wanted to request him. They did not, because through back channels, Ben told them no. The Saints wanted to request him. Same thing. He told them no. So it's the Raiders, the Jaguars, the Patriots, and the Bears. I don't think you see him end up in Vegas. I don't.
Happy New Year, Deb.
Hey, Deb. There's no quarterback there, but yeah. Ben wouldn't be interviewing in Chicago if he couldn't see himself as the next head coach of the Bears. Do you feel any different about that, Phil?
No, I feel the same way as you. I do. It's just, it's a pathetic.
It is, man. And like
the GM was pathetic. I mean, we have to get through it. I know everybody's talked about,
but he wasn't anywhere near the worst of the day, Phil. No, for me,
George,
nowhere near. Yeah,
George was the extreme.
George was the mic drop on the fucking ineptness. And they got caught lying multiple times.
Well, he lied about not using. I mean, you brought it up. You caught him in the lie with Polian.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's what I want to play off of, because Potash, the last coaching cycle, asked him the same thing about their process, and are they sure that their process is correct? And he's like, our authority is vertical. The head coach reports to the general manager, the general manager to the team president to the chairman. And he's like, I've never been in an interview and had anybody question that or be even worried about that. Well, no shit, George, because they want the fucking job. And you've never had a power broker in there like a Mike Vrabel or a Ben Johnson. And I'm not even saying Ben Johnson is considered a power broker because he's got juice right now. He can pick and choose. He's been in this process, turn teams down, and he's got some authority, and he should swing the fucking bat like he is. That's smart. But of course they're not going to question you. But it shouldn't take somebody coming in and questioning your process when the fucking blueprint is right there for you saying that it sucks. I don't need a head coach coming in and saying, the way you do this is flawed. Look at your record. Look what you have not been relevant since 1985. How many times? Very few. Your process is flawed, George. It's not that hard. But he doesn't give a fuck about us. He doesn't give a fuck about the fans. He just doesn't. He would rather feed you a plate of word salad. That's his way. He's not going to say fuck you. He's going to be condescending and lie. That's his fuck you to the fans. That's the difference. The blueprint is there for your ineptitude, and you just repeat it.
You keep repeating it.
Ow, that hurts.
You
Ow, that
repeated
hurts.
it again.
Ow, that hurts. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And thanks, Chad. As chairman, back it the fuck up to 1985. The last time we won a Super Bowl. And they've underachieved almost every year thereafter. It's a fact.
You also have a history of all these players that have done nothing, talking as if they've done something.
Yeah,
this team,
and that's no different, Phil. It's no different than fucking Lovey's Bears.
Yep.
That's the reason that Lance Briggs and fucking Matt Forte, Alex Brown, all these fucking guys. And listen, I respect them for what they fucking did. And you didn't win shit. And guess what? You underachieved, just like every other Bears team in our lifetime, other than 85. They were good for a window of time. Were they good in 07? In 08? In 09? 2010 they were. 2011 they had a chance. Were they good in 12? 13? 14? 15, 16, 17, 18, they had a chance double doing. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is next, George. Where's the blueprint? But you're mad at the fans for selling their tickets. Fuck you, cocksucker. That's exactly what the fucking fans should say to him when they see him.
You all have to start or stop buying the ticket, or your chance sell the team. I don't care if the Bears are up 35-6. You have to chant it. You have to let this piece of garbage. And I'm sorry, George, that's what you are. I know you watch the show, but that's what you've done. You've lied, and you don't own a lie. In fact, you deflected it and said they're more worse than I am. He's like a little kid. Instead of sitting there and saying, yeah, I heard it. And they're right. I'm embarrassed. That's why I'm doing, and have some accountability and some authenticity. You're sitting there putting this kid, Ryan Poles, out there. And then you got Kevin Warren. Well, I'm proud of him because he was able to stand up there and take accountability, unlike your owner who's calling the shots. That's how much fucking power this guy has. You should have seen how Marge was so nervous when I clapped back at fucking George and his joke. Oh my, no, he didn't. I'm like, yeah, I meant it. Ask Jim Larison. I don't play that game. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm me. I know I'm coming from a good place. Everybody, it goes all the way back to the story of whatever book of scripture you read. Cast the first stone. Cast the first stone if you haven't. George is of the belief that he is this better than thou. I'm serious. But portrays Mr. Nice Guy at the fucking Bears Care Gala. I'm going to go out with all the minorities and I'm going to give away coats. I'm going to be a man of the people. But meanwhile, he gives two fucks about anybody. Because if you don't give a fuck about the thing that you have, which is the Bears, don't ever believe that they give a crap about the people. He just showed you his true colors, caught in a lie and deflecting it onto the fucking fans, which turns out he had no idea that this fan was going to unveil it. This didn't happen before he said it at the presser, guys. That Lions fan was on 670 The Score with Holmes and Spiegel and told them straight up, I bought George's luxury box from him. I went through and they told me, how do you look now, George? And he'll go like he did with Olin Kreutz, the grain of salt. Well, yeah, I sold it to him and I sat down in the stands. No, fuck you. You brought more Lions fans in. How about that? Just a pathetic human being right now that's running this franchise. He is the biggest problem. He is the reason why I worry if they'll get it right. What if Ryan Poles is like, bro, I've seen them all. I got to tell you, David Shaw is the best. I don't know. David, I didn't like that. He should have nothing to say. Zero. Is Bill Polian going to be? If Ryan wants him to be. You're such a fucking politician bullshitter. It's saying, Kevin Warren, he's hired to be that. He's the president. There's a lot to be said about him. The shovels in the ground. Ain't going to be no shovel in the ground in Chicago downtown. Let's just get that straight. Not a chance. Not even a fucking one of those strikes on the cement with a spark. Will you hear a shovel downtown? Here's the Lions fan.
Derek Stevens,
Derek
CEO
Stevens
of Circa. Derek,
Circa.
I don't know if you know this, but and correct me if I'm wrong.
Lawrence
You were
and
here
Spiegel.
in Chicago for the Bears-Lions game, right? Because those are your guys.
Yep, correct.
Okay. George McCaskey said this about your Lions fans' brethren.
Yeah, it's understandable. As Kevin mentioned, our fans are passionate. They're incredibly frustrated. They wanted to make their voices heard. I was more bothered by the week before when Lions fans tried to take over Soldier Field and force the home team to go to a silent snap count.
So what was it like trying to take over Soldier Field, Derek?
Well, I don't know where you want me to go with that, but McCaskey sold me as a suite. So that's where I sat with a whole bunch of Lions fans.
He walked himself into that
Lawrence
one.
Holmes is having an orgasm.
Derek, you got
Yeah, now I don't know the context of that quote, but let's be honest about it. I mean, the Lions fans were coming out, they're traveling all over. It's been a long few decades here. So maybe this is the Lions, maybe this is the Lions year. Things have kind of come together, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's a lot of Lions fans at Soldier Field a couple weeks.
There you go.
Thanks, George. Yeah, put it on the fans, though.
Put it on the fans. No, fans put it on George. I'm telling you, he absolutely loathes.
It should be written down,
deflecting,
fucking saved, and it should be the first fucking question asked to him next time he meets with the media.
After they hire the new coach.
Yeah.
Put it right on his ass. We're not here to talk about that, Mark. We're not here to talk about how's mom feeling about this. She's pissed off. Really? No, sell the team chance.
You think your fans are pissed off? You think your fans are pissed?
Wait till I get everybody at training camp chanting it. If you're uncomfortable, don't go. Let this fucking clown know. Let the family know. At some point, Brian Mccaskey, who I don't know who Brian is. He could be the best thing that ever happened to the franchise. But anything is better than a lying fraud at this point. Doesn't take ownership. doesn't take ownership, and he's an owner, a chairman. It's happened under me, so I guess it falls under me. Yeah, it does, George. Have a little bit more respect for the fans, George. Have a lot more respect for the fans.
Yeah,
if anybody thinks it doesn't, no shit, guy, they're not going to sell the team. I understand. No one's giving away their money. We understand the shit.
It's the fans are chanting.
I must sell the team. Don't be this dumb.
That's not the point.
Understand the real point is to send the message that the brother or the family has to step in and say, we got to get George out of here. These fans loathe him. This isn't good for business. It's the same thing that happened to his brother. He could not take the mistake and the error of announcing McGinnis. And that was before, that predated fucking social media. Imagine if he had done that in social media time. It would be.
Guy, he's responding to what you said earlier. I mean, we literally.
I'm talking about last week.
Right here. What Phil is saying is right. Saying Sullivan team does greatly annoy them and piss them off. Just don't pretend that they will sell, is all I have said. Yeah,
no one thinks they're gonna sell, guy. Like, understand, I'm pretty good at this, guy. I've been around these guys. This is one thing I know that bothers him. Big time. He
Not
hates
you.
losing to the
Talking about
Pack.
George. He's talking
I'm
about George.
I'm talking about George. He hates the Packers and losing to them. He hates the fact that his grandfather, and I agree with him there. I talked to him about it. I said it to him that the Super Bowl trophy should be the Hallis trophy, not some fucking coach Lombardi trophy. It should be the guy that made the NFL, your grandfather. But the fact of the matter still remains, this is the one thing that pissed him off. Well, I'm glad you're back in the Midwest, and I'm glad you love the network and the show. I love this show. I am excited to announce we hired, like I said, a new producer here at TTNL. I'm not going to try to say his last name right. Producer Jack. He's going to be handling all our. We're going to bring him on.
Yeah.
He's going to be handling all our reels and shorts and TikTok. Or do you plural that? TikToks, Cherie? No. We did that. So I'm happy that Jack is here with us. If anybody else wants to join, we're going to be redoing this whole thing going forward because there's been I would love Bratcher back. I love Bratcher. I miss Bratcher. Shout out to Claudio. It's his birthday today. We miss Claudio the barber.
Yeah.
He's trying to get him on for his birthday. But he's dealing with a lot still. Jack Mehofer? Nope. No. So we got Jack coming back. And what else do I wanted to say? We have a whole lot of coaching talks and discussions and educations.
Yeah, and we're going to probably solidify something for the fans where it's not going to be a weekly thing, but we're going to let the spotlight shine on some of you fans and do a show where you can put your nuts out on the table and talk about draft picks and free agency and stuff like that so you can be held accountable. And Phil and I won't be on air. We'll be in the chat room talking our talk. Well,
we might have to be on.
Oh, how those tables have turned.
We might have to be in the corner in air.
Oh yeah. We'll be in the background.
They choke up like Cindy Brady.
Yeah.
We've had people come on and he can't. They can't talk. They get nervous in the screen. We've had people meet us and they get all nervous. But yeah, we're gonna put some guys like Guy on the spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
G says, how come no one is even considering Dave Taub as a head coach? I think he would be awesome. Well, he's had a ton of interviews, and the word is, and I've heard this numerous times, and I know Phil has too, is that everybody that he has presented on his coaching staff has really hindered his chances. And that's a lot of it.
I heard someone saying, well, he lost his shot. He aged out of it. I don't agree with that.
Well, he's not gonna. I mean, if you're considering, I know obviously he doesn't have the track record of Pete Carroll, but Pete Carroll's going to be 74 during the season.
Dave Taub, to me, should be someone they interview. I don't see why not. Again, this is the team that passed on Jim Harbaugh. Can we enough saying that, right? Like, this is a team that had the layup last year and failed. And I think it's important that you see that because Mr. Poles was standing there with his chest puffed out.
It's a Zoom meeting, guys, so he's not going to be on campus. All the Bears' first wave of this, everybody is via Zoom. So Pete won't be there. But yeah, his day is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in Pete Carroll too. I love what Pete Carroll can bring to the table, just the idea of something, building a culture, cultivating it, creating something, and then also understanding that whoever your offense or defensive coordinator is going to be the baton pass at some point, because you're doing something the Chicago Bears have never done, and that's build a culture first. I've told you the head coach is the most important. Then it's the quarterback. You got the quarterback now. The Bears seem to do everything ass backwards. They had the perfect opportunity to get Harbaugh, and like I was saying, the GM puffed his chest out and said no. Now, if Kevin Warren blocked that, it's the same organization. I don't give a shit. If I have lost every respect for Ryan Poles as well, because if you stand there and your goal is to better the Chicago Bears, and I don't mean like some meatball fuck that has a show on ESPN or wherever, 670, that can give a fuck when they go home at night and cash their check. I mean, for you to be a winning culture, you fight for what it is that you believe in. Ryan Poles sitting there poo-pooing the thought of Jim Harbaugh is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen, aside from George speaking the other day. Again, producer at 670 The Score took his 2011 or 2011 firing of Jerry Angelo, 2000 firing of Mark Trestman and Phil Emery, and all of it. And George is saying the same fucking thing every single time to the fans. The same fans he poo-pooed, deflected. And that's why you stand here, George. Like somebody in the Mccaskey, chairman of the board needs to do something about this. You're allowing this guy that's ego is so big that he pretends and hides behind a fucking umpire's mask to try. I know who he is. He's ridiculed anybody who swears. He had the audacity to stand up in front of the fucking media and tell them how to do their job better. I think we should all just take our turn. Shut the fuck up, George. Shut up. How about you stand up there and hold your fucking feet to the fire? Tell your little bitch ass, 2 more, Tom. 2 more. Tell him to shut the... Stand in front of the fans. When are you calling the season ticket holders, George? When are you going to have that meeting? Or, don't say that to George. Please. Fuck out of here. You've done this to this fucking team. You've hired all the softest of the soft. You go to church? Great. That's the prerequisite. You're a good Catholic. You don't swear. Oh, that Phil and Shane, they swear. You listen every fucking week. Stop. I'm not judging anybody's religion, race. I don't give a shit. But if you are, and that's your course, we can't swear on Hard Knock. I still remember fans trying to come at me. Oh, Phil, stop. It's a show. What do you fucking... No, it's bigger than that, bro.
Oh, we had the guy in the YouTube comments every fucking week saying General Patton didn't swear. I don't give a fuck about General Patton swearing or not. It's not... They aren't against the Bears players swearing. They're against Hard Knocks airing the Bears players swearing. So they're worried about what you hear.
100%.
We're paying for HBO.
Yeah, you got no right.
I'm also paying to see the shit that you put out on your field that you don't own every week, George. That's an abomination. That's way worse than me saying the word fuck. Way worse.
You're a great fucking Catholic, George. You're a great fucking Catholic. And so is Tom Bose. It's honestly, he hid from the cameras because it would expose exactly. He could not keep the lie up. He needs a man in front of him or the side of him to kind of play off of. Both Matt, Ted, and Ryan are men of character. What the fuck is Ted being thrown in there for? Go look back at this family. Go read about Muggs. I'm dying to get this writer to tell the story of Virginia and this family and how completely crooked they are. I used to laugh at the honey bear curse and all that. I think it was a joke. Like, wait a second. I don't know about the curse, but let's look at this from an optics standpoint.
They did like a breakdown. It was like the number 10 ranked curse in the NFL.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
After the 85 season, Virginia Mccaskey, who took over, banned the cheerleaders for the Chicago Bears, the Honey Bears, because she thought it was in poor taste. Right along with George, church. Go here. Don't swear. Don't curse. Don't be too much of a fucking coach. Anti-Ditka. Have you ever seen George McCaskey with Mike Ditka in the same room ever? Ever? Have you ever heard George McCaskey praise Coach Ditka? No, you won't. This man is so pathetic that it is beyond anything. It'll be this whole show. This whole show could be how pathetic you are, George. Just going after Olin Kreutz makes you pathetic. Who is telling the truth, because Ryan Pace went on the fucking radio and said, yes, we did have to offer him $15 per hour. We did.
This is the same organization that wouldn't let Dave Wanstead take him for what he's worth, hire Ron Chico Rivera. Couldn't hire him. No, we can't. We only allowed 8 coaches. That's it at that time. Then Wanstead finds out because he didn't know.
Happens. That never happens with cheerleaders and players on like every fucking team ever.
God forbid they be human. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dave Wanstead, in all his brilliance, had no idea that Ron Rivera was a minority.
That's the fucking, oh my God. I heard
Put that into perspective, guys. These are the fucking people they hire as coaches. He didn't know. He goes down to Ron, and this is from our guy, Dave Kaplan, telling the story. He goes down, they're not going to let me hire you, Ron. They won't let me hire you. They said I only can have 8 coaches.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, even if I'm a minority? He's like,
no. It wasn't like that. It was you would have to be like a graduate assistant, and then you'd just be working for free. And then he went back up, and he goes, or if you were a minority.
Yeah, that's what he said. And he goes, I am a minority.
I'm a minority. And he's like, you are? And he's like, yeah.
He wants to go, you are?
I'm Hispanic. They called me Chico, for Christ's sake.
So Wanstead, true story, goes back up to Mike Mccaskey, same fucking bullshit, guys, and says, well, he's a minority. Then you can hire him, of course. You see what I'm saying? It's all a fucking charade. Let's take a picture with the minority kids. That's our plan.
What the fuck did I miss? What's going on? Like, I mean, I look, I'm late. What about minority? What happened?
This is the Mccaskey way. Fraud.
Dave Wanstead did not know that Ron Rivera was a minority.
What?
Yes.
Okay. You hired that man as your head coach, and he doesn't understand that he's a minority.
Wanstead wanted to add him to the coaching staff. He went to Mike Mccaskey to have him added. Mike Mccaskey said, no, it's written in it's written into your contract. You can have 8 coaches total. You're at 8. You will have no more unless it's a graduate assistant or a minority.
Michael didn't know. He was
Michael said
Michael
that.
didn't know.
Michael didn't know either. Wanstead went back.
Didn't know that Rivera is a minority.
So Dave Wanstead went back to Ron Rivera and told him, it's in my contract. I can only have 8. So you'd either have to be a graduate assistant or a minority. And Ron Rivera goes, oh, well, I'm a minority. And he's like, you are?
These people, man.
I'm just saying, and then I was saying, Ivan, that they look for the opportunity to now take a picture with the minority kids. Let's have a coat drive, and you'll see it's all a sham of shit. I can't stand this type of people. Fraud. Like, oh, Phil, you're wrong. They care. They don't care about anybody but themselves. Thus the deflection. Thus the lie. You want to know who you are? Look at that. He's poo-pooing season ticket. One of our patrons, Andrew, he's in the chat. Him and his fiance are at the fucking game. Season ticket holders cheering and screaming, sell the fucking team. They went there. Where was George? He sold his tickets to some fucking casino owner, whatever the fuck Circa is. It's absolutely atrocious, the hypocrisy of this owner, this chairman of the board. I beg Pat Ryan and the board to replace George Mccaskey now. Gentleman George is a fraud. He is the reason this shit trickles down like this. He is the reason Phil Emery hired Mark Trestman. He is the reason Jerry Angelo was fired. He is the reason Mr. Dick Duran was hired. He's the it goes on and on. Matt Nagy, George McCaskey. Mom really loves the nice guy.
Offered him essentially somewhat of a consulting role with the offensive line for $15 an hour. Were you aware of that offer when it happened, and what was your reaction whenever you were aware of it?
I've learned over the years to take just about anything that Olin says with a grain of salt, and I look forward to hearing that story again and hope he includes it in his Hall of Fame induction speech.
This is you see that you did that just now.
Yeah, I brought it up.
That's pretty awesome. Look at that clip. He got caught with his pants down. He got caught with his fucking pants down. And he fucking goes on there and he attacks the guy that's telling the truth. I've learned over the years, and then you see Owen. I haven't talked to this guy. You are the worst, George. You're the worst. And he'll come after us because he's that petty. But I'm just telling you, how do you cheer for some smug asshole that's going to be that petty? Where he's deflecting the chance of sell the team. He's deflecting his record. Adam Hogue had the balls enough, to his credit, say, are you going to continue in this role despite your record? And however he worded it, watch his response to it. He weasels away from it. Yes. Things haven't been good, and that's why we're here now. That's why we're here now. Okay. I believe Olin, who stands out with his face on the camera and addresses it. Then you had Ryan Pace go on ESPN 1000 that same day, because he was fired the day before, I believe, when that came out. Right, Shane?
Say again, Phil. I was just cutting some.
When the grain of salt came out, Ryan Pace had been fired a day or two before, correct?
Yeah, and they asked him flat out, and he 100% validated it and said, yes, it was 100% true.
He validated the guy
and then
you
I
shouldn't
think,
take with a grain of salt.
And then I think he kind of realized in the moment that he probably opened up a vortex that he didn't really want to be in. So he pulled back a little bit and started talking. But yeah, it was 100% true.
That's the sad thing about it, man. All I want is authenticity. I am all for, hey, everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to do it. I am the first one going to make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've owned it. I've stood in front of the fucking firing squad. I took so many bullets for things. It's hilarious. But our owner, who is part, I don't even know what his worth is, because he's a chairman of a family that owns the Chicago Bears. As Shane pointed out on Madden, it used to be owner Ted Phillips, for real. He was the face. Because that's how confusing.
Kevin Warren's on the one now. Yeah,
really?
He is. Yes.
Oh my God. That's how confused EA is. That's how confusing it is for everybody, because there's no percentage breakdown. when Virginia passes, how this is going to be arranged with the 42 grandchildren and however this is broken down, I have no clue. I have zero clue. That's why I'm begging the Chicago Bears boy. I know he's protected himself with all these fucking attorneys and everything else. But someone else needs to take over as the chairman. If it's Pat Ryan, someone has a good breakdown, Creighton says. I'm sure there's like a family tree. There has to be something legally. And do yourself a favor. Go read. I was talking to Jim Larison earlier today. His son has done a paper or some sort of report on the Mccaskies and what they did to Muggs Hallis and Muggs' kids, George Hallis's grandkids. You all have family. You can't choose your family, right? You all have family. Now add billions of dollars and how it breaks down. Dirty shit can get done. And there's none dirtier than the Mccaskies. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. And you know, every fucking time, this will be the last thing on the Mccaskies. We'll get into coaching. But every fucking time anybody speaks at a presser, watch what they do. I'm talking about a person, whether it be a coach, new hired GM, new hired offensive coordinator. First of all, I want to thank the Mccaskies. Watch every fucking time. Every time. It's like a prerequisite. Don't forget to thank the Mccaskies, Tom. Ivan, don't forget to thank the Mccaskies when you take this job. Get up there. Get out there.
It's the same thing when they tell them. You talk about one of the reasons that you came here wasn't for the money. It was for the rich Chicago Bears history.
Tradition.
Because that's what players
What's the tradition?
really
What's the tradition? 40 years. Like what? When does the tradition change? Right?
Yeah.
Because the tradition for a long time was winning, and then the tradition was losing in the 70s and early part of the 80s, and then it became winning again. And now we're back to fuck. What's our tradition right now? What is our tradition? Embarrassing, losing. Like having George walk up here and just repeat himself over and over and over again because he's a fucking drone. Like I'm tired of this. This is what everything that
he's not even. He's not a drone. He is a fuck. One thing you could say, he's very planned and scripted.
Listen, these go on for days. Right here, look at this.
I had a C, but underneath it said only with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
That's a classic moment on TTNL. I love Olin. I was the guy saying Olin Kreutz needed to be president because I know he would put a priority on how you walked, how you just stepped foot into Hallis Hall would be opposite of what the Mccaskies think is important. I tell you the story of sitting there having a VIP meet and greet. You got this fucking agenda, this fucking plan of your day. The word is skipping me. Fuck. But it was all labeled out. Itinerary. Thank you. At 10 a.m.
That's a tough one.
It is. 10 a.m. VIP meet and greet in the Hallis room or something. 11. Go down and watch this. Start boarding the plane on the TA checkout. Blah blah. No VIP showed up. Soccer was the only thing you could watch on the TV. It was everything the opposite of what the Chicago Bears I grew up. And listen, all of you guys that poo-poo me and Shane being out of town, and not living in Chicago or the city.
Like that fucking matters.
Like it matters. I'll just say this: multiply it by 5,000 when you're around Giants, Jets, Patriots, and all these other fans that are like fucking Bears.
Imagine us being as committed as we are to this team, and I live in New York.
Exactly.
Bill's in
I live in New England Patriots country, where they fucking have a dynasty.
At least Ivan's right down the street, who's going to be paying for this new fucking stadium soon.
and then he keeps trying to like speak that into we've made so much progress. No, you haven't.
You haven't made
shit. The friends of the park have run you out of the fucking. They will run circles over you. You do not. He doesn't understand the buzzsaw that he's trying to go ahead and
a shovel.
He's not doing shit.
The only shovel that'll ever drop is in Arlington Heights. It'll never get built downtown. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
It's embarrassing, the lying.
Exactly.
It ain't a leverage game. It's just a pathetic lie.
Every time he speaks now, Phil, charlatan, carpetbagger, shoe salesman, fake, phone. There's something to me that I missed because I thought coming in he was going to be about it, right? Getting it. Now it just seems to me that he's willing to go ahead and be this politician and say things that sound very smart and very calculated, but it's like, what the fuck does that mean, sir? What does that mean, sir? Where is the progress in the stadium you were brought here to build? Where is that progress? Why did you allow your GM, knowing that you did not like the coach, why did you allow him to continue on? These are things that he needs to answer, and he doesn't because he just, he smiles and he speaks very elegant. I mean, he like the guy can he's a silver tongue fox, like a silver tongue devil.
Yeah,
he could go ahead and talk. He probably talk himself into a lot of situations, but to me,
you're talking Kevin Warren.
Kevin Warren. To me,
people need to understand you're talking about Kevin Warren.
Correct, Kevin Warren. Nothing that he says really sits in his concrete.
He might end up being right that they put a shovel in the ground, but it's in Arlington Heights. That's the thing. It's never going to be built downtown. This state, and it shouldn't be. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't be. You should own the team, and I'm helping them get richer, which is crazy. And I know he has a job to do. He is hired by George, yes, to be the lawyer. Right. That's his job. And I just don't think you sell. He didn't have to say anything about downtown Chicago. And that's where you just lose face. Because it's just pathetic, and I can argue, a guy, you don't ever want to get this heat from me, where you can excuse. You just don't want to get the heat from me with owners could do and say. They can't do and say, because when you do and say lies, that's it.
Sorry, so there's nothing that you can say that can convince me that he's not 100% convinced. He's going to try everything in his power to get that stadium built on the lakefront. That's just who he is. He's pretty much said his ambition. I know you're talking to me, guy, but he's pretty much said what he wants to do. That's his. If he can do it, he will exhaust every avenue to try to get it done. Now you have a great thing in Arlington Heights, the city of Arlington Heights is already ready to go. There's little leverage that you fucking need to
Didn't they fix the tax thing up there?
Yes.
So it's like, ready to go. That's why I say it's like, if the deal is just shut the fuck up about the downtown.
It's not like the fucking taxes were a massive fucking financial burden in the fucking first place. So that's where it kind of falls apart. It wasn't a massive fucking thing.
Yeah, and I agree with, I don't know who said it. I'm sorry. I should have started, but build this, get the coach right. Get the football right. Then work on the fucking stadium behind the scenes. That's where you are. It's almost done. And he'll end up being right. And I told you, we're shovels in the ground. Good.
The point is more money, Madman. That's why. I mean,
but guy, if the deal is done, then what leverage does he need? He's still talking about it.
I have to agree with Ivan.
If
the deal was done, you don't need leverage.
If this was last year, or if this was the beginning of the year, or whatever, or when he first got here, yeah, okay, I could believe the leverage. But we're well into this. Like there's no need to fucking keep talking about this the lakefront when you have the property. It's like, to me, there's zero. There's zero.
Well, I believe you get the product right. That's where they're going now, hopefully, to get the product right. I will say this. Every single one of them was pathetic, borderline embarrassing, disappointing, all these negative emotions watching them go through the presser. I did not like how Ryan Poles handled himself. I don't like what he had to say. I was upset that there wasn't a well-worded question about Jim Harbaugh when he so eloquently backed his guy, as we showed you, in Matt Eberflus. So when he was asked about Matt Eberflus, like, no, he skipped over that. He skipped over a lot of accountability. They all did. And that's the problem there. And when they I felt like when you cut the interview short with Ryan Poles, you did a disservice to your organization once again. Stand up there, take the fucking blows, grow up as a GM, take accountability and make yourself stronger for it. And I think Ryan Poles looked like a pathetic GM that I just sit at night and hope he grows from this. I want him to succeed. I do. I want him to get this coaching search right and get the right coach in there. I just know if you allow George into the mix and this HR person and this now you're doing the same dumb shit again. HR comes in after the deal has been a handshake. They come in with the paperwork. Why is she in this? I don't get it. I don't get any of their SVP. How many of the SVPs do they have? Do you know, Shane? Maybe Guy knows. How many SVPs are there, Guy?
A shit ton. I know that.
Is there 14 SVPs? How many of these people are there?
And more than we have wins over the last 3 seasons.
You are good. Exactly. You don't need all this shit. What you need is you've surrounded yourself with this protection of this administration of people. They all have these fucking titles.
Scott Van Pelt.
Corporate bears. Corporate bears. They're set up. It's honestly, it is The Office. There's a bunch of Dwight Schrutes with Michael Scott being George. That's what this is. Look at it. He's the assistant to the assistant regional manager. Here we go. So you have the chairman of the board. Then you got the president, Kevin Warren. Then you got Ryan Poles, the general manager. Then you got the special advisor to the president, and he's also the chief administrative officer. Then you got Liz Geist, Executive Vice President of People and Culture. And she's also, guys, the Chief Human Resources Officer. Thank you, Liz. Oh, wait, Karen. She's been here for 30 years, Karen. Karen Murphy. She's the EVP of Stadium and Development and Chief Operating Officer. Karen, come on in this interview. Wait, there's more. Tanisha Wade, Executive Vice President of Diversity, Equity, Inclusive, and Chief Impact Officer. Hold on. There's a big impact coming on here. A grain of salt. Remember? Wait, we got another EVP. Krista Whitaker, EVP of Legal and Business Affairs. She's also the Chief Legal Officer in case any of this goes down. Any kind of clowning around. Forget the human. Let's get the attorney. Then we got Mika White Morris. She's also an EVP of Revenue and Chief Business Officer. Let's surround ourselves. There's more, guys. Hold on. There's more. We got more people. How many of these people are sitting in the board meeting of hiring the coaches?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
There you go. Are they going to hire Phil Atoshin? I'm the best qualified fucking coach they've ever had there. They're going to hire? No, they won't. Won't even be on the interview. But Matt Nagy, who fucking didn't call plays, was a fucking glorified position coach, struggling realtor, has his buddy in Andy Reid make a call. Check out this. He's a hot guy. Well, he's a hot guy. Oh, yeah. All those EVPs are going to eat this shit up.
He's a hot guy.
He's a hot guy. Well, they fly out there. The plane's wobbling. Let's get this fucking Matt Nagy on the phone. These motherfuckers are hiring good old boy networks as long as you go to church. Deb, where are you, Deb?
Can't you see that when Ben Johnson walks in? They're like, "Yeah, Ben, we ran out of chairs. You're gonna have to just stand down there at the end."
Ben,
we took all our high top chairs for our non-existent. We took all of our high top chairs for our non-existent.
They're gonna do it like a boxing match. They'll have two tables on the end and the podium in the middle. And Ben
somebody brought
a single football person.
Somebody brought that
up
though. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And you know goddamn well it's going to be part of the presentation. Is the non-existent football stadium being presented to Ben Johnson or to Mike Vrabel
oh my God.
or to Pete Carroll?
Now, guys, look at these high tables with the view of the field that we're potentially going to have. I just ran down all those EVPs for you. Where is Kerry Franklin and Jim Larison? Guys that run big-time businesses. Any of you in the chat. There's more of you there. There's multi-millionaire guys that listen to this show. Look at that shit show of all of these people are all involved with George. And they're all going to make this decision together. No, I'm running it. My name's Ryan Poe. I'll be running it because George and Kevin said I can. Get the fuck out. Are you kidding me? You ain't getting this real talk. It'll be talked about tomorrow when people poach this shit. But this is real talk. Trace Armstrong, he fits in with all those corporate heads. That's how this all happened. That's it. It's corporate back rubs. You wash my back. I got your take Matt Nagy. Great. Oh, we fucked up. Take this other Matt Eberflus. Great guy. George, be better. Step out the room. Let your brother Brian Mccaskey nip all this shit in the bud. Let Brian handle stepping aside and being a fan because you ain't stepping aside. You've surrounded yourself with some board of directors. We didn't even get to their board because there's still more board on top of all these EVPs. and SVPs and all these fucking titles. It's just a show. It's like going to a bank for a loan, and because of your social status, you're not getting a loan, but the other guy is. That's what you're dealing with here. I hope I'm wrong. But when someone says take Olin with a grain of salt, let's look at the Detroit Lions for a second. The Detroit Lions took one of their former players, brought him in, and gave him a title because he's a football guy.
He's interviewing in New York with the Jets for their general manager position, by the way.
Really?
Chris Spielman.
So the other Spielman, what's the brother's name that played for them?
That's Chris Spielman. Played for Detroit.
All right, Chris.
You're thinking of Mark?
There's two Spielmans, right?
Or Rick Spielman. Rick
Yeah,
Spielman.
Rick.
Yeah, my bad.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking of Chris. They bring Chris Spielman, who laid blood on the turf of Detroit, Ford Field, and they brought him in to recognize football culture, who helped identify the GM and Dan Campbell. Got joked about, whatever. He saw the integrity of football people being priority number one in a football sport. Don't give me your analytics. It's the same thing. Bring back that Packer. Bring back that pack.
Hey, oh no, they got the first down. Oh no, here comes the kick. Hey, Aaron, say it. Yeah. Fuck you.
Bunch of fucking nerds. We don't need fucking nerds running football.
You've got to be kidding me!
Exactly. That's what I want to say when I look at the fucking Bears EVPs and SVPs. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen.
Ice is back with my brand new invention, something.
Bears are back.
Tightly. Yeah, Bears are not back, though.
They're back with their brand new invention.
The brand new invention of the same fucking thing they've been beating down the road.
They did not have all these SVP. This is the new thing. Let's surround ourselves. Let's be a corporate run.
Okay.
Same thing, like same end result, but it's a different way to an end, a means to an end.
So a bunch of idiots instead of just a few.
Yes.
Got it.
And unfortunately,
Guy, we said that. We literally started off the show saying that they have two suites, and it still doesn't fucking matter. You can't come out and say that you're disappointed in the fans selling their tickets when you did the same fucking thing for the same game.
For the same exact game.
We said that they have two suites. Virginia has her own. George has one. We said that.
Boom, 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 boom.
So which one did he sell? Right? George's suite, right?
George's suite.
Oh, so he sold his suite.
Yes.
It's yeah. Come on now,
Guy. How are you even fucking defending it?
I like you, Guy, but like, come on now.
Come on, bro. Jesus, it's like going to the movie theater, getting your soda. There's no fucking ice. There's no fucking ice. Soda sucks, Guy.
Well, no, that's
soda's your fucking
there's
chairman.
no ice, and there's a bucket of water, and it's
there's
like,
a bucket of water.
Soda sucks.
And the justification is, well, when it was cold, it used to be ice, guys. Right?
It used to be ice.
Yeah, it used to be ice. I saw it. Great. That's helping me out now.
I don't think Guy is George. I agree with Scott. He's too fucking smart to be George.
Wait, Guy's not fucking George? That breaking news? You just wrote that out? Holy shit.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network. Breaking news.
This just into the TTNL news desk. Guy Finley is not fucking the chairman of the board
Thank God.
Chicago Bears. Thank you,
I
God.
don't know.
Thank
Maybe you should. Maybe you straighten them out.
That's the worst constructed sentence ever.
Oh.
for a
HR is calling, guy.
Yeah.
HR is
You're
calling.
fucked. Tanisha Wade, line 1, guy.
Karen Murphy, line 1. Oh my God.
Let's just bring this back so we can laugh at the Packers fans.
You've got to be kidding me! Come on! No! I can't! Oh my God! Oh my God! We stink!
Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear.
No.
Oh, got it.
Now they have a chance to win the game. What was that call? Come on.
Let's
Block
show.
it. Miss it.
Let's show
Corey,
Lambeau.
say it. Say it, Corey. Say it.
Fucking miss it. Miss it, you fuck. Let's go. Oh, blocking! No, it's good.
I'm an asshole.
Well, that
Packer
was it.
fan.
The Bears get their revenge. Packers come up short.
It's one of the most embarrassing losses of the Matt LaFleur era. I'm Peter Mccaskey.
Sorry, ladies.
Oh my God! Please block it. He blocked. No, he made.
Psych!
Say it, Chad. Fuck. We lost. Finley's not fucking the chairman. This is the worst weekend ever.
Where's the chairman? He owns the team. We all own the team here, Shane.
Bill, on my wall.
We should buy Packer ownership rights for TTNL now that we've won, and that'll continue to own their team. Continue to own them now. Caleb Williams owns them. Did something the Nightcrawler commander couldn't do. Win at Lambeau, Cherie. Win at Lambeau. Or just beat the Packers. But I digress on that. The Chicago Bears. Yes, Juan. Wasn't it a great... I mean, we really enjoyed it. And anybody that says, why win that game?
Yeah,
you are like
well, you have
the
people actually
possible...
rooting
You
against them.
are worse than George Mccaskey in that.
Greg
game.
Rex. Greg Rex.
You have the worst mindset because you haven't beat them. You have this rookie quarterback that is driving you down the first game to beat them, and the field goal gets blocked, and they cheated and blocked it. Should have been a penalty. And narratives are all drawn. But yet, here we go to their house, and you beat them with all of our backup offensive linemen. All our backup offensive linemen that we have backups everywhere too. We put your starter out. He started the game. He was playing the game to win. He still looked shitty and shaky when he was starting the game.
LaFleur said he was coming back in. He was getting ready to bring him back in, but they thought that, the Bears essentially gave the shit away, so they didn't have to.
Well, we even had a backup coach. We got a backup chairman. We got backups everywhere winning, and Caleb's overcoming it. So all I'm saying is embrace the fact that you beat a rival That is the best possible thing you could ever do as you end the season. Your 3 spots that you fell down or 2 aren't going to change anything. They're not going to change a goddamn thing.
What was that?
That was me. My bad.
So I enjoyed every minute of seeing LaFleur crying, complaining. It is a moment for you to build on. That is the best thing. And it also leaves your young quarterback, rookie quarterback, going out in 225 of Victor with some great emotion and direction for what he's got to do in the offseason to continue to get better, with the hope that
You didn't want that
coach is gonna
fucking
come.
losing streak hanging over this kid's head
Christ.
all off season. For Christ's sake.
How could you even want that? It's like, rearrange your thoughts. Losing is a disease. The Bears have a losing culture. It's just pathetic. Tell him, Daz. But someone will argue, no, the way of how you lost, you would have been at 7. Okay. Oh, well.
I just don't care. I don't care. None of it matters if you don't get the right fucking coaches to go ahead and groom these players and coach them up right. None of it fucking matters. Right now, I would rather take the win under Caleb's belt, the win for the guys
Totally
that
agree.
fucking be here.
Hell
the
yeah.
the win for the team over everything. This isn't 2 years ago.
Caleb won these games against the Washington Commanders, the Packers, the line. He put you in places to win.
Exactly.
Your kicker got blocked.
There are
Your
reasons-
defense let you down. The whole
who loves
story
the
of this
draft?
kid changes.
Right.
Exactly.
Peter
loves the
Schrager
draft
leaving
more
him
than we
off his
got?
fucking list. You fucking kidding?
No, who loves the draft
Drake
more than we
may.
do?
Fuck out of
Who
here.
loves the draft more than we do? 2
No
years
one.
ago today,
Nobody.
Ivan and I were cheering as loud as anybody while Phil cried.
Phil was
When the
Phil was
Texans
ready to
beat the Colts.
scold us.
I wasn't crying. I
Nobody
just don't like losing. I don't.
Nobody
like it.
does the draft better than TTNL. Everybody knows it.
Have you seen this? The Tape Never Lies Network with Phil and Shane? Oh my fucking God. Where have these fuckers been my whole life? All Bears all the time. The Caleb Williams breakdown, it's the best out there. Head over to thetapeneverlies.com to sign up today and become a patron.
You couldn't do that with another fucking hat on his head.
He wore his hat. What do you want?
Oh, Big Cat. He loves them. Tell him, Cairo.
What up, Bear fans? I can't even talk. It's cold, and we just hit the game winner at Lambeau. They got us at home. Been thinking about this game for weeks, and we got them in their place, 51-yarder.
Fuck you, Bullets.
That's for you, Bears fans.
One more time.
Do it again. Do it again.
One more. My son's like, why are you talking like you're
Fuck you, Bullets.
Listen to me. I did my out of breath voice for Cairo.
What up, Bear fans? I can't even talk. It's cold, and we just hit the game winner at Lambeau. They got us at home. Been thinking about this game for weeks, and we got them in their place, 51-yarder.
Fuck you, Bullets.
That's for you, Bears fans.
Fuck you, Bullets.
When he ever said that to me, I was cracking up for hours.
Oh my god.
He even
We're
sounds
laughing.
like he's out of breath.
Afram Rolfs wants to know why we're laughing so hard.
Oh my god.
We're laughing at your mustache and your bad hairline and your name. Pretty fucking easy, bro.
Oh, if we have to explain it, you haven't been here a long time. Bullets. Bullets isn't a fan of Cairo.
Oh man, it's so funny.
To help Adam out.
Half them. Bullets didn't like Cairo. Somewhere, I don't think Bullets would want Cairos.
He did kick.
Are you drunk?
He did. He drilled it
to take his fucking victory lap.
Every time I watch that, I have anxiety because I fucking feel like it's gonna get blocked. If you watch the play, they did it again.
No. Afram doesn't understand that Bullets is this guy right here.
Oh my god, yeah. Afram, Jesus. We're talking about one
Bullets.
of the guys that's been with us forever. He's on the screen right now. Bullets.
This is Bullets.
He's a
Uncle
noted
Bullets.
Cairos Santos hater. So as soon as that, he actually called it. I got to give him credit. About 2 minutes before the drive, he's like, "This is going to come down to your boy Shane." And I'm, of course, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this fucking cocksucker. If he misses, fucking Bullets is going to go on his fucking victory tour.
He was. Bullets had it fucking typed out.
Oh,
this motherfucker missed.
Listen, if you give fucking Bullets true serum, he wanted the Bears to fucking lose on a fucking short kick more than he wanted them to win.
Just because he wanted Cairo.
Right, just because he wanted to be. No,
Bullets
just because he wanted to send that text to me.
Right, Bullets completely forgot the Cody Parkey saga of his Bears fucking history.
This guy's been hitting him.
You knew my thumb was fucking hot. As soon as I saw Cairo, and I'm like, I'm fucking editing the shit out of that.
So fucking funny, bro. When you ever sent that to me, I'm like, I was working on a whole thing, putting all this collage of videos together. It was funny, but the fucking screen recording is off a second. So I'm like,
what up, Bear fans? I can't even talk. It's cold, and we just hit the game winner at Lambeau. They got us at home. Been thinking about this game for weeks, and we got them in their place, 51-yarder. Fuck you, Bullets. That's for you, Bears fans.
The Bullets are raining from the sky.
Fuck you, Bullets.
I'm just a fan. I'm not a football evaluator.
And no shit.
Oh my God.
Riley was sitting next to me. He's like, "Why are you talking like you're out of breath? You're sitting there." And I'm like, "This is going to Uncle fucking Bullets. Leave me alone."
What?
Exactly.
Uncle Bullets. Uncle Bullets was happy. Uncle Bullets was happy. And yes, I saw Scottish Bear take ownership of resting Caleb. That was the other thing that we were all against. Like, no, you fucking go out there and play the rookie, get the rivalry, you put your best pieces out there, and you go out there and win. And he fucking did it, bro.
So listen,
so proud of that kid.
Bullets, don't answer this because I know he knows the answer. Who has the most 50-plus yard field goals in a season in Chicago Bears history? Does anybody know?
I would say Cairos Santos.
I'll say, yeah, I guess Cairo. I mean, other than Robbie, like that's the only other Robbie or like it's not Kevin Butler. I know that.
It's definitely not Kevin Butler. It's definitely Cairos Santos.
Well, we got Butler, Gould, some Cairos. It is Cairos Santos this year with 8.
There you go. 8.
8 51-yard field goal.
No, he's got him over.
54 one.
Yep, 54.
54. Okay. Listen, people were pissed. And listen, I thought he should have kicked the field goal at 57. But I also thought you run the ball the week before.
Yeah.
Against Seattle. Run the ball. You got one timeout. What the fuck are you doing throwing the ball there? But again, that'll have to be discussed when they have the interview with Thomas Brown. Today, they completed an interview with Mike Vrabel. If you're just tuning in, I talked about Matt Campbell
what a great football coach that guy is. I'm glad he is getting an interview. His percentage of chance of getting the job is low, but that shows me they're identifying a good coach. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm a huge fan of David Shaw. I love when people are like, he's been out of the game for a little bit. This motherfucker lives football. This guy is a tremendous football coach, David Shaw. And the fact that he's on the list is great. You've heard us talk about Mike Vrabel. You've heard Ivan and Shane talk about Vrabel. Vrabel's the hot commodity. How did everyone not go after Vrabel last year? Again, it's kind of pathetic politics, rewriting stuff. I'm a fan of Vrabel. The writing on the wall for some people, I say hold, pump the brakes. There's a lot of drama going on in New England with Robert Kraft and a lot of shit going down there. Don't just think it's a layup where this is going to go. He could be going to the Vegas Raiders with Tom Brady calling him.
There's no quarterback there, man. Adam Schefter, I take whatever he says pretty goddamn serious. He said it's going to be a massive upset if he's not the next head coach of the New England Patriots. I mean, come on, Phil, you got to think about it this way. Just take a step back, and are they moving off of Gerard Mayo without some assurances from Mike Vrabel? I don't think so. I don't.
I think that there was a lot of stuff going on with Jared Mayo and Kraft. That is behind the scenes stuff that brought that. But yes, there is a love affair with Vrabel being a former Patriot and the whole nine there. He was drafted by the Steelers, was considered a bust if you look at his career, goes to New England and finds his place in that defense, and the rest is history there. But yeah, Vrabel interview today. How long the interview was, and it was on Zoom or Skype, whatever the fuck they're using.
Zoom.
So Skype still a thing?
I don't think so. For old people.
But yeah, Vrabel, he would come in and change the culture with Chicago. But he's exactly what makes Olin Kreutz great. He's that kind of mindset. No sugarcoating anything. You're going to have to hear it. Now, to a man, Chris Ballard, I heard it verbatim that no sugarcoat makes George nervous, especially when it comes to things in his house. So he can't be involved in hearing from Ben Johnson that, you know what's a big problem? Your shitty drafting of offensive linemen, or the way you use your time, whatever it is, that George is going to take it personally. He has to not. He has to own. And maybe he's at the point. Maybe he finally reached the bottom of the barrel where his hand in the cookie jar has caused so many problems that he's going to alleviate himself. But having all those SVPs and la-di-da-di-das and Dwight Schrutes in there is going to murk the waters of the goal. That's all I see. Who can withstand that? David Shaw can. Pete Carroll can. That's why, it's going to be so important. You can't just hire Ben Johnson because everybody thinks he's so good.
I don't know who he's never been a head coach. That should take him and push him down your list in my eyes based on the Bears. They have to. Matt Campbell has more experience as a head coach and CEO than Ben Johnson. Simple.
So real quick.
Yes.
Bullets. I yelled at him the other day for sending me down the field goal kicker vortex, and somebody in the chat was talking about how Robbie Gould has a much stronger leg than Cairos, which is definitely debatable. But in 266 career games, and don't go look it up, how many 50-plus yard field goals has Robbie Gould made? What would be your guess? Ivan, get in here. 266 career games. How many 50-plus field goals has he made?
Well, first Bullets needs to throw his guess in, Mr. Critical.
No, he knows. I've given him.
Oh, he already knows. I'm gonna say out of 200 and how many games?
266 career games. How many?
I'm gonna say
has he made
14 or 15. I only could choose one number.
Well, Cairos kicked 8 this year.
Yeah, we're giving me 266, so I gotta say.
So how many has he kicked?
22.
Ivan, you got any guesses?
Ivan's focused.
Sorry, I was looking at something else.
How many 50-plus yard field goals?
Get your head in the gate. Get your head in the gate.
Has Robbie Gould kicked in 266 career games?
50 plus 9.
Well, Cairos has 8 this year, so that's ridiculously low.
Well, I don't remember Robbie being significantly.
Aminator.
Okay, so we're talking about how long he played.
266 games he's played in.
Okay.
Well, put it this way. So Cairos has kicked in 150 career games. Robbie, 266.
Eric Alley has 145.
And he's obviously doing cocaine. But anyways, Ivan, do you have a number?
69.
I'll say 15.
15. All right. So in 266 career games, Robbie Gould is 36 for 51 from 50 plus.
36 he's made.
It's yeah.
All right. But wait, there's more. There's more. Cairos Santos in 150 career games. How many has he kicked from 50 plus? In 116 less games.
Gould was 36?
Yes.
Okay, well now I'm gonna guess over
44. I'm doubling 22.
In 116 less games. Cairos kicked how many from 50 plus?
44.
All right. I'll say 51.
No, it is less than Robbie. It's 20. Okay. It's 29 of 42. But that's 7 less in 116 less games.
Right.
Let me see attempts. How many attempts? What were the attempts?
29 of 42.
Yeah.
For Cairos.
Yep.
36 of 51.
My thing with this is
it's close, like 20 less attempps.
With Robbie, you had situations where you had a team that could get into the red zone or get into that area where he was automatic. With the Bears, it just seems like you're struggling to get into that area consistently, and you're always at the fringe of the kicker's fucking his mark, but you're never really like, all right, cool. Like we're scoring touchdowns. We could go ahead and obviously allow the kicker to get his, but for what I've seen with the Bears, it makes sense that Cairos isn't kicking that many field goals from 50 plus. It's just you're not the team that can go ahead and say, hey, we're up. Let's see if we could just get these points. Maybe
you're making healthy
right.
You're making healthy friction
Right.
Ivan.
I guess.
Healthy friction.
I guess. Whatever the fuck that means.
That's what Ryan Bowles wants. Healthy friction.
Healthy friction. Do that shit in your own time, in your own bedroom.
I had
Lock the door.
I knew this.
Healthy friction.
Right.
I had a girlfriend in 10th grade. We had healthy friction.
I'm not saying that this. I'm not saying that this isn't an offensive problem, but I'm just saying is, I think people are intoxicated by 60-yard field goals, and that is rare overall.
I was given the opportunity. I found him.
Yeah. Yes, you did. You also found Cairos Santos, who made the game-winning kick.
But he's 85.5% in his career. 85.5.
There is a actual trophy case in the opening hallway entrance with Cairos Santos and his gloves and cleat.
Bullets. Again, there's a massive difference. You're outside in Chicago in fucking January. I would love to know the history of 57-yard field goals made in Soldier Field in January. I bet you it's minuscule.
That ball, I don't think that ball. First of all, I don't know if he is able to plant safely with how many people were out there. Like, it was like people were playing like as if it was
you put up
still
that
kind of a slip and slide. But regardless of that, to go ahead and have him kick in those elements right then and there, you might as well have thrown the Hail Mary, which they tried to do at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not going to go ahead and crucify Cairo because of that or the decision.
He should have gave him a shot to kick it.
He
let him
okay, but we saw him miss these types of kicks. And he's already said before, under certain type of elements,
one kick.
But under certain types
of elements, did he miss? He missed the one short. What game was that?
Well, he's missed a few kicks this year.
So do you know how many 60-yard? Do you know how many 60-yard field goals were attempted in 2024 in the NFL? Any guesses?
How many 60-yard field goals?
60 plus.
3.
Ivan?
I said
2. 2 then. I'll go 2.
16 were attempted.
Damn.
How many were made?
3.
2.
So there's
Sam says 6. Sean's
4 of 16.
Ryan Woods got it.
Ryan Woods
4 of 16, and 2 of them were from Brandon Aubrey, who plays in Dallas.
And the other dude from Houston, what did he make? Like 4 50-yarders, 58
Joey Sly kicked one. He was 1 for 2. And then Tyler Bass in Buffalo was 1 for 1.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It just bothers me that we're like, and I know Bullets has his concerns, and obviously.
Oh, I get it. He doesn't have the strongest leg in the NFL, but you can do much fucking worse than Kyle Santos.
Exactly. And from where we were, where we
cheated against Green Bay, where it was blocked. The low trajectory thing, that's horseshit. It was fucking a cheat. They ran over the snapper, and Van Ness is pushing number 94 in the back. You're not allowed to do that. The NFL came out and dismissed it to cover their ass. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I will have Hightower's back on that. And I'm not a big Hightower fan. It's a fucking cheat. We used to say you got to cheat to win. You got to cheat to. Green Bay fucking gets every call. Their little bitch ass fans screaming at our players, jumping in the end zone.
I thought that
fucking
was
crying about flags they didn't get. Shut the fuck up. Pathetic. Sorry. First time I never agree with Sharif. It's the first time
Karan Amagaji couldn't get on the field, but he couldn't get in the stands either.
Simone can't help her fucking husband do a backflip or something. These motherfucker fell on the mat. The Russians scored it at 1. Ivan gave it a big 1 too. Oh my God. Shane, can you put up that tweet that Ryan Cox texted us just now? This is the problem, folks. It's people like this. They're completely fucking losers, like Chris Foster.
Yeah. So Herb Lawrence, formerly of CHGO, says that the Bears are interviewing the Pop-Tarts Bowl winning coach. What the fuck is going on up there? Herb is just showing his ignorance. It's that simple.
That's it. It's so ignorant and stupid. This man has given his whole life to coaching football, yet Matt Nagy gets a job here and fucking Herb is okay with that. Him and Chris Foster going to the fucking arcade, play that fucking hockey game together.
Pocket hockey. They're
Chris
playing pocket
Foster
pool together.
Chris Foster plays whack-a-cunt at the arcade. Yeah.
Yes. He's got a bunch of
Beats his mom like that, dude?
Yeah, his mom's in that game. The whack-a-cunt. Yeah.
We're looking at a bunch of complete morons. Gonna take a shot. It's just pathetic, man.
Frank, as much as I don't love it, I think he's going to New England. Oh, Chris was back. I didn't even know that. Hopefully he heard me.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's when I used
sorry,
his name.
Chris.
I saw him in Cherie.
Sorry, Chris. Oh, can you imagine him going through his fucking roid rage right now, pounding his real doll in the ass, being I'm gonna fucking hate fuck you so bad because I hate Phil and Shane.
Dude, we found video of the guy.
Yeah, I know.
Did you?
Yes.
Send
You
me
have
that shit
Wait.
Unstable as
right
shit.
fucking now.
Hold.
Send me that right now. I will.
Hold on.
I'm gonna step out, and I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this.
Oh, Ivan, we got video of his mother too.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah, it's right. It wasn't in this brand. It was in the other one, I think.
Oh,
where is she?
she's in everybody's brand.
She's a singer. This is Chris Foster's mother.
Well, in case you don't know my name, my mama named me Rufus.
Yeah, Chris Foster's mama's name is Rufus.
Jesus.
Hold on, I have audio of him.
Francis, I need to talk to you.
Why? I don't want to talk to you, okay?
I just got the credit card statement, so we need to talk.
I don't have anything to talk to you about. I don't have anything to talk about that, okay?
Oh, you don't have anything to talk about these $1,200 of charges on my
What?
$1,200 of charges on my credit card.
I didn't make them. I don't know what you're talking about, okay?
Oh,
It's probably
you didn't make
fucking.
Oh, okay. So I'll just
This is
report this
Foster.
$400 charge from Google Play as fraud,
Yeah, do that.
and then
Yes.
close
really
down
is.
the account that it's attached to. So that's good.
Well, okay, what if this attached to my account then? Then I was going to get my account banned, right? So don't do that. Just pay the $400, okay? Like, I don't know where it came from, but just pay the $400, okay?
This guy's buying
Well, no, if you
Pokemon
didn't
Go.
make the charge, and I didn't make the charge. Then
Foster's a
Send me the
Pokemon.
video.
Don't do
He's
that.
a big Pokemon Go guy.
Send me the video.
I give you admit that I did it, okay? Fine, that's what you want. I will admit that I did it, okay? All right, I spent $400, okay? But okay, in all fairness, $20 was on music. You're always telling me I need more culture. I downloaded some
So
music.
380.
Pokemon theme and a couple Pokemon raps and stuff, and then the other $380. Okay,
Oh, Chris.
Chris.
Sorry, buddy.
this is like $400.
Where is it?
right,
Okay, you remember Friday night for John? We drove
looking around.
these little fucking millennial hipsters, okay?
All right, I think we got it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. I'll have to send it to Ivan to clean it up and post.
Oh, are we gonna get out of here early tonight? Is that what we're doing here?
Oh, early is 11
good.
o'clock. 11
Well,
o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock somewhere, right, Cherie? Tell him.
Almost 11. Look at Cherie. I love the hair.
Cherie, can you sing us
This
out?
one. I love your smile. Do, 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 do.
Sheree, is dinner being delivered tonight?
Someone's working late, so
Uh-oh.
yeah. So I sent something to them at work.
Do we trust that they're working though? I mean,
Yeah,
is
he's
this
working.
Ooh, this sounds serious, Phil.
It's very
Get
serious.
some overtime
Do we
later.
get to Oh yeah. Hey girl. Any
Hey,
more of that?
girl.
Any more of that salmon left?
Thomas Jones.
Do we get to vet this person at any point?
I
I mean, I was gonna say, Ivan, y'all got to come here because he ain't gonna travel nowhere. I can tell you
No,
that.
we can do it live on air.
Oh, he's not coming on air.
We'll just record it. We won't go live.
Sure you won't.
Yeah, we'll just record it. So we can
private meeting
we can
with
edit
all
it
of our
tastefully.
Ivan
Yeah.
and Terry vetted.
Edit tastefully.
I approve. I don't know about
Yeah.
y'all.
I think he should come on. We want to make sure that he can take care of our Cherie. What's Miss Deborah think of this
She hasn't
nameless
met him
person?
either.
She doesn't like him?
She hasn't met him.
Oh
No.
Miss Deborah does. If Miss Deborah doesn't like him, I don't like him. Right, Phil?
Offensive lines.
We can't trust my mom's judgment in men, so.
Oh, that doesn't say much
I
for
love my
Phil.
dad.
That doesn't say much for Phil.
Doesn't say much for me.
Sorry.
What the hell is going on out there?
Let's put her mom on blast.
We love Miss Deborah's friends, though.
Oh,
right,
I
Sheree?
love my father, and I love Phil, so let me not say that. But you don't always make the right choice.
So who's on the deck for tomorrow's interview? Is that Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll, yeah. And he's gonna knock any. I mean, that's just Pete's style. He's gonna knock any fucking interview right the fuck out of the park.
I think George is gonna fall in love with Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Well, the rumor is that the number one guy for Ryan Pohl, and I don't. I'm
No,
just
I want to
basing
hear
this
the
on
rumor. I haven't heard it
The
yet.
rumor is Ryan Poles is all in on Ben Johnson, and that is the focus. Kevin Warren and George Mccaskey want the culture builder, and they're looking, obviously, then you're talking about a Mike Vrabel or a Pete Carroll or somebody of that ilk.
Well, how is Ryan Poles all in on Ben Johnson? Let's quickly talk about.
Well, is that hard to figure out?
Oh, I envy your offensive scheme.
Well, yeah, he
One where
probably
you're-
is looking
he
at
crafted
it
much
as
better than you asshole.
He's probably looking at it like, oh, he will unlock Caleb to his most potential, which that can go any way. Because listen, we don't know. Ben Johnson could come here and be the culture setter. I don't know
have
that.
my concerns big time about Ben.
Of course, I do too. I'm concerned about it because I don't know. Anybody that says that he's not or is
Never been a head
is
coach.
guessing.
The Bears have hired one guy that was a head coach before.
I
and it's
think that
John Fox.
if it's
That's
the
it
right-
in their history.
If it's the right guy, Phil, it's the right. There's lots of guys that are first-time head coaches that have had success.
No, I agree. But
Lots.
the Bears have not swung the bat and hit on any of them. People, Lovey. Nope. Not Lovey either. Consistent winning.
Yeah, and that's in
culture.
I've had people ask me why we're not interviewing Lovey Smith, and it just
Oh my God.
he has
Greg
20,
wanted Nagy to come back.
26 wins. No, that was
It was just a joke.
yeah. I may have edited
Shane made
I may
me
have taken a
think Greg
screenshot and
tweeted
edited
it
a
out.
tweet, making it look like Craig Braggs wants
Go,
Matt
what
Nagy
the
rehired.
fuck is he talking
Like,
about?
bro, you can't be fucking serious.
Shane sends it to me like Greg is. Well, Aaron Glenn is a guy that never has been a head coach that I could see the locker room and the culture, former player. He's maniacal.
But with
He
that
checks the boxes.
he does, Phil. But it goes beyond. You have to see who they're connected to. So the word is
That's
that
the problem, Shane.
No. That's what I'm saying. You have to see.
Bears, you couldn't connect with nobody. You had to connect with Ernie Accorsi and Bill Polian to get these guys.
Who's going to be on his staff? So the word is that Aaron
Who's
Glenn's
his offensive coordinator?
Antoine Randall L is the talk.
Okay, good.
That's the talk.
All right.
I've heard Hank Fraley connected to Ben Johnson. He's the offensive line coach in Detroit. He was an offensive lineman in the NFL for Philly and a couple of other teams. Hank Fraley
is with Ben.
I don't know if that's
Ben is calling the offense anyway. So who's his defensive coordinator?
That I don't know.
That's what we need to find out there.
Exactly. Well, an offensive line coach. But that
we've defined maniacal like 500 times, Brian.
Yeah, and people think
maniacal is a guy. Remember when your GM says, "I wish we could go back to preseason and do things differently," where we went back and ran that play. You don't have to worry about that with a maniacal head coach. You get this fucking wrong, we're doing it again until we get it right. We're not leaving until it's right. Every fucking thing is done to the right way, or we do it again. We sprint. We don't walk. We don't let people get across any kind of leeway across the whole board. The ref fucks up, you are in his ear. You're working the refs. You're fucking way ahead of needing the guy to challenge to tell you. The only time you need the guy to help you is if you had a bad angle. You're so keyed in, you're letting your coordinator, whether you be an offensive guy, you let your defensive coordinator coach his game, and you're we need to be blitzing here. You're so maniacal about every fucking aspect that situational football never escaped you. You're not going for two when you're maniacal. You understand you're kicking that extra point there. You're not doing it's fucking 2 plays ahead.
Right. That's part of it. People think they default to maniacal, meaning you're ripping the TVs off the wall, you're breaking chalkboards. And it's not that. It's you are detailed. Every inch matters. If somebody's fucking up in practice, if it's Roma Dunze or if it's Keenan Allen, you're fucking taking care of it right then and there.
100.
In front of everybody. And that's what it's like.
They'll hate you, but then they'll love you.
The difference is something that the Bears have never done either. And listen, I'm not just trying to defend Ben Johnson, but this is Matt Nagy did not have the track record of Ben Johnson. It wasn't even fucking close.
I agree with. That's why I laugh at.
He's had a top 5. He's had a top 5 offense for the last 3 years in Detroit. And
he's calling the plays.
He's calling the fucking plays. Look at the fucking play. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't, what was he, a 4th or a 5th round draft pick?
Amon-Ra St. Brown was in the 4th or 5th round. Yes.
Right.
Out of USC.
And I understand.
I love that kid.
I've brought this up myself. He's not coming here potentially with Detroit's offensive line, but much like Caleb, this isn't a 1-year thing. You got to give it, you have to give it time over that. So
can I say something? Since you brought up the line, don't forget.
Just one more thing, Phil.
Yep.
And if you're saying that Aaron Glenn is maniacal and Dan Campbell is maniacal, well, he's in that. If he wasn't doing his job and being maniacal, is Dan Campbell keeping him on staff?
No. So that's a very good point. I want to say this about offensive line play with a maniacal coach. The reason why I could tell Chris Morgan's a piece of hot garbage, probably couldn't coach Guy Finley's team, is because he's not maniacal. I could take these scrub players and scheme up where they would be legitimately solid. My father could go in
with
there.
Fundamentals, Phil.
Fundamentals, they would look, you guys would, oh my God, this line is good. They would be cohesive. They would know their assignments, and we would simplify it down to techniques. You could make average offensive linemen look great by technique and system, assignment, going over and over and over. And you don't fucking do it right, the next guy does it because they're that talented. Like this kid, Matt Pryor, he could be great. He's not getting pushed to be the best he can. His fundamentals, his footwork, all of them are off. Their stances alone, if you look at tape, are crooked here. Orlovsky ain't talking about that shit. He's trying to get a fucking soundbite. I'm sure. But what we do at the tapeneverlies.com is teach, show, and prove. All these other fucking scumbags out there trying to take their veiled shots, they're just so pissed because their boy sucked and is a backup quarterback. And Phil and Shane were right. I'm just telling you, the right coach comes in here
exactly
and gets this offensive line better without a doubt.
Totally agree. And I'm not saying you, Phil. I think we're probably all guilty of this at some level, but there's so much wish casting involved in this. And let's just say, let's turn it to Brian Flores. We know that he's a leader and we know he's a disciplinarian and all of that. But you can sit here and say, oh, I think he's learned his lesson. We don't. That's just like saying that, oh, I think that Ben Johnson is going to be a leader. We don't know. There's going to be gamble involved in any of this. Any of it. Pete Carroll. I love the energy. Yes, he's older. I get it. I'm not against Pete because of that at all. I have questions for Pete. Who's going to be your OC? Did Pete have a great offensive line in Seattle? No, he did not.
Cherie, I think, just volunteered to be his OC. She's
Cherie's signing up.
His OC.
Sign me up then. Done. Hired.
I'll sign her.
But yeah, you have to see. But
oh God, I told Shane, I finish your point because I'm gonna.
No. Yeah, we can get into that because I think you and I are. I'm not on the same side of the fence as Phil on this. This part of it, but the wish casting is what everybody is. That's the trap that everybody's falling into. It's just like, oh, and I think if this happens too. I think people will say, oh, Phil said Aaron Glenn is a leader of men. That's my guy. I want him. You know what I mean? And it matters who his offensive line coach is. It matters who his OC is.
I do love Aaron Glenn.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. The culture in Detroit, when they hired Dan Campbell initially, I'm not going to sit here and say I laughed when I heard his first presser. We're going to be biting kneecaps. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be over in 18 months.
I loved it. I did laugh though.
But the wish casting is what everybody needs to stay away from. And it's like, oh, Ben Johnson's going to come here and be Matt Nagy. He's not Matt Nagy.
No, he's definitely
got much more of a track record.
You have two
success than Matt Nagy. Now, Diana Rossini said she thinks that Matt Nagy is a head coach in this cycle. What has he fucking proved other than playing with the greatest quarterback potentially of this generation, the best quarterback in the game. What has he proved other than riding on the coattails? Have fucking fun with that.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
interviewing
And you made a great point. One, I honestly didn't give him enough credit for. I got to give you that. Is he's in the Dan Campbell culture, and Dan would not accept someone that didn't have that
And
trait of being maniacal.
Even if he had success, I think that Dan Campbell would be that this isn't what we do here.
Right. No, 100%. Bill Parcells' tree checks boxes for me. So Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson. When you go, Sean Payton is from Parcells. Bill Belichick is from Parcells. We can go down those lists.
And let's be honest, Jared Goff made the Super Bowl in LA. He's also not the fucking quarterback that he's been in Detroit. And how much
hated him coming out in the draft.
That guy that was on the Rams, like you said, Shane, is
scared
night and day. Who that guy is,
dude.
right now? That team was built on defense, running the ball and getting the ball out quick out of his hands because there was still, because Sean McVay knew that. But
let's not discount this. He knows the fucking division.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Aaron Glenn does too. I get it. You guys have heard me where I think that this is going. Ken, listen.
You believe it's going to be Ben Johnson when it's all said and done.
Yeah, because I think that Vrabel is going
to New England.
I would love Vrabel here. Yeah, I want to know who his OC is, who his offensive line coach is. But Vrabel's been through OCs, and a lot of people don't realize this. Guess Matt LaFleur was in Tennessee and was going to get fired because Vrabel didn't have a connection with him anymore. I'm just saying. So it matters beyond the fucking head coach. I think Vrabel's going to New England. I think Aaron Glenn's going to New Orleans. I don't know what the fuck is going to go on in New York. I really don't. Are they? I know Nagy is interviewing in New Orleans. Is he in New York also?
Rex Ryan returning?
But
I'm upset that Rex isn't getting an interview here.
I'll tell you this right now. This is another thing. And listen, I don't think Diana Rossini is. I think she's good at her job. I don't. Ryan Coxon, I talked about this earlier. She's whiffed on some stuff. She said Mike McCarthy is 100% in play in Chicago if he doesn't get a deal in Dallas. And so I'll tell you this.
Not on my list.
If
Ben
Johnson,
he's not a Nagy.
Let's just say that something happens and Vrabel goes to Vegas, or let's say Vrabel goes to New England and Ben Johnson ends up in Jacksonville and Shad Khan fires Trent Baalke and says, Ben, name your GM. I'll give you the keys to the franchise. Get Trevor Lawrence to where he needs to be. We'll give you the key to the city, all of this. So Ben Johnson ends up in Jacksonville. Then where are you going? Aaron Glenn, if he's in New Orleans. Then you want to know who I think the leader in the clubhouse is going to be? I think it's Pete Carroll. That's what I think. I'm not saying what I want. I'm saying I'm thinking of this through the Bears' eyes because Pete has a track record of success. Yes, he is old, but there's going to be.
I love Pete Carroll.
There's got to be a fucking plan in place with Pete Carroll of having a guy on the fucking coaching staff that you can look at as the heir apparent. Because listen,
That's the way he's got to do it. It's gonna be 4 or 5
this
years.
is not breaking news, everybody. You can have all the fucking energy in the world at 73.
How old was what's his name in LA? I mean St. Louis.
Oh, I don't know, but like
How old was he?
Tampa Bay, he was 60. Was he 68? You know, the guy that almost got the job here.
Oh my God. Versus Tressman.
Bruce
Coach Arians.
Guy,
thank
you fucking got. All right, you're a good fucking dude. You don't let people fucking finish. You want to be the
You didn't
smartest
say
dude in the
anything
fucking
about it.
comment. I didn't fucking finish what I'm saying is. It's like the fucking 30-year-old cliff that fucking running backs hit. That shit can go fucking fast. I never fucking once said that he can't coach at 73, guy. I never fucking said that. So your comment is bullshit. Fuck. Stop. Jesus Christ, bro. I'm just saying, you're 73 or 74. You can fall off that fucking cliff in a year, in 6 months.
He was talking to some guy in the chat, he says.
But I'm just saying, all right, fine.
Vermeil, how old was
Sorry.
he with the Rams?
He was out of it for, I don't know.
Remember, he was gone for.
I don't think he was in his 70s. But that was in
I think he
2000.
was in 60 something years old.
So what's
I think you and Guy both have a solid point. One, you can't really judge the age of Pete Carroll because you don't know how Pete Carroll's going to be.
Taking off his
tenure.
shirt.
But
He's jumping around. I love him.
Dick Vermeil was born in 1936.
Right. But at the
So
same
how
time,
old is he now?
So that was they won it in 1999. So that was 26 years ago.
Yeah.
How old is he? I'm saying.
So he's
now.
what, 87 right now, 88, whatever he is. So fucking 26 years ago. So yeah, he was
68.
That's cool. But after
So
that,
that's what I'm
Dick
saying.
Vermeil didn't last long.
No, but
tenure.
right,
but
that's what I'm
this is
saying.
To your point, Shane.
Yeah,
because you could lose that energy
63
immediately at that age. You don't know when the guy's going to hit a wall.
No, you don't. And listen, you can like Coach O has a ton of energy, but is Coach O gonna have the same amount of energy if he's working fucking 20-hour days?
No.
Exactly. That's the thing. That shit can happen fucking fast, real fucking fast.
100%.
So you have to have a plan in place beyond Pete Carroll when you fucking hire him. You don't want to be back into this in 2 years. That can't be your blueprint to say, oh, fuck it, we're going to do this again. Because the problem with that is then you're into the fucking contract years of when you're deciding on Caleb to extend. And that, guys, this is all a part of this.
I bring up Vermeil for 2 points. One for Pete Carroll, the other one for David Shaw. David Shaw.
He's fucking brilliant, bro.
David Shaw should be in the leading clubhouse for this job. That's how much I think of him.
Phil, if he's even not the head coach, you talk to David Shaw, you could give him a fucking spot on your staff with a Pete Carroll.
Exactly. And they coach together. And then David takes over. I mean, I would be in heaven.
This is why I'm laughing at everybody
But
getting
David Shaw at what position?
He would be your offensive coordinator.
He would be the OC. Okay.
Getting ready to take over for.
I thought you were jumping towards, because even right now, David Shaw being
David Shaw as the head coach.
Right now,
if the Bears hired David Shaw, I would not. I would be happy as fuck because I know who he is as a coach.
Right.
I think a lot. And listen, don't take this the wrong way. I think a lot has to fucking go wrong for the Bears to get to the point where he's hired as the head coach, because I think that like I said, I think they are very interested in Vrabel, clearly. But like I pointed out to you, I have Carroll ahead of Mike McCarthy for me.
So do I.
On mine. But there's just like there's risk with Ben Johnson, and we don't know if he's truly a leader and not just handling the 53. You have to handle 90 all off season, all through camp.
Right.
That's a difference. And you're not just the head coach of the offense now. So there's a risk in that, just like there's a risk in the health and vigor of Pete Carroll. You don't know when that shit's going to go. You just don't.
And I don't think anyone could argue that. But I still...
Exactly. Scottish Bears here. Yeah, you think the fucking Eberflus, his time management, game management's bad? McCarthy's right up there, and he's an infinitely more experienced coach. And it's still an issue this year in Dallas.
Yeah, I am not in the McCarthy game, but he's a huge upgrade to Eberflus and Nagy. That's how sad this is. To be honest, they could have fucking saved this, as we said.
I think the Bears' top two choices are Vrabel and Ben Johnson by a country fucking mile.
When has this changed? You know what I'm saying? Like
it hasn't.
That's to
But
me.
this is
It's
the
never
point.
changed.
But this is the point. Everybody in the wish casting, and I understand this franchise is fucked up. I get it. We know that. But everybody's flipping out about Zoom calls. Everybody's flipping out. There's way too many people being talked to. And if it was 3 people being talked to, it's you're not doing your due diligence like we started off the show with. You're assuming the worst, and that's probably a safe bet for the Bears. I get it. I understand it. You can also come in here as a fucking leader, just like Mike Vrabel did in Tennessee, and fuck up your offensive. Has Brian Flores went through fucking OCs in Miami like they're going out of style? Yup. He did.
Why was Vrabel's interview not in person?
I don't know. And this is the thing, too. Maybe it was a Vrabel thing. Listen, we can't sit here and pretend like that there's not major flaws and questions about the Chicago Bears. If I'm Mike Vrabel, I might want some fucking assurances before I fly there and come into your building. You need this.
Reported that all of the first rounds are going to be Zoomed.
Yep.
So they've wait, let's just put this together quick. I'm sorry. We love the plan that Ryan has come up with. Was this quote not only by George, but by Kevin. So sitting out these 5 weeks, watching Thomas Brown and the Bears fumble and all the shit, they came up with a plan. This is what we're going to do. We're going to cast a large net, or he came up with this. We're going to go through the first round of this large net via Zoom.
They don't all have to be Zoom.
No, they don't.
They have to be
Bears
Zoom if you're in the playoffs. Like Ben Johnson, that has to be Zoom. Brian Flores, that has to be Zoom. Mike Vrabel's free and fucking clear to spend the night at
the only ones that have to be Zoom are the guys that are in the playoff and have that bye. They have to be Zoomed based on a certain time frame and out. There's a lot of rules. But Ryan Poles came up with the plan that he's going to Zoom the meetings with the SVPs, Ivan, all of them, for the first round. Then they're going to check their notes.
There's more Scott.
They're going to come up with this. Then they're going to come with their top 5 or 6, right?
Exactly. You paired that. That's just fucking business.
That's smart.
I don't know if
that's how
anybody's
you
done
do it.
anything in the corporate fucking world, but I mean, I like through the United States Postal Service, I've been involved in stuff through the union and stuff like that. Everything is done via fucking Zoom. And then when you're getting down to the fucking go time, shit is pared down. You head into meetings. You have an idea of the direction that everything is going to go, and you can go fucking attack it. And you don't have 45 other ancillary things on the outside. You have the bigger list because you're in information gathering mode. David Shaw said what? The two most talented quarterbacks I have ever scouted in my career are Andrew Luck and who? Caleb Williams, 1A and 1B. Of course I'm going to want to talk to you. Of course I'm going to. Tell me why. Are we doing what would you do with Caleb, David? Well, we're not doing that. Holy fuck. Yeah, maybe we should be doing that. Oh, you're doing that? Oh, look at this. Ben Johnson said, yeah, fuck yeah, we're doing that. That makes sense. You're in information acquisition mode with most of these guys on the names that are on the list. And fucking 3 of them are going to be in serious contention for the head coaching position. That's just a fucking fact. Nobody wants to fucking believe it. Everybody wants to run and say the Bears are completely fucking lost. They're interviewing so many people because they don't know who they want. They fucking know. They know who they want right now. They know who they want. Now you're in information collecting mode to see if it marries up. That's what this is. That's fucking business.
Candidates in the playoffs cannot interview in person.
Right.
Even if they're eliminated until January 20th. So think about that.
And the Rooney Rule, you have to have which like
in-person interview. That's what New England did.
There's got to be 2 of them. They did Pep Hamilton and Byron Leftwich. Brought them both in the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked it out. Neither one of them were going to be considered.
This is so they can give an offer to Vrabel.
Yeah, he's probably going to Phil. He wanted to meet with Chicago virtually just to see, test the fucking waters, see what their interest is, meet with his people before he goes to New England. Who knows? The Bears may have said, hey, listen, you're our fucking guy. You can't come out and publicly say that right now. We don't know that. But everybody's just going to assume the worst, and I get it. This franchise has been completely fucking inept. And I just feel at the end of the day, and listen, this sounds cocky as fuck. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on how this is fucking playing out. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I happen to think it's Mike Vrabel. I happen to think it's Ben Johnson in no particular order. And if they don't get one of those 2, guess who's coming here? I think it's Pete Carroll.
Wouldn't be. Those guys are in my, like, I don't have the Jim Harbaugh. David Shaw is the closest thing to that for me. Coach Campbell, Matt Campbell.
Nano, I have no idea why you're asking us about playoff shit when we're Bears based. He's asked like questions about games. That we're the wrong podcast for that tonight, bud.
Is Cliff Kingsbury on their list of coaches?
He was requested, has not been accepted yet.
And what McCarthy was denied. So
McCarthy was denied, but he doesn't have a contract. What is it, like the 14th, and then he's free?
Oh,
and everybody's killing the Bears for that too. I would do the same fucking thing. You could sit there and not talk to Mike McCarthy, or you could force Dallas's hand. Say, yeah, if I want to talk to Mike McCarthy, I'm going to put in a request. Then you deny it.
You went gangster on him, to be honest.
and I think that's
That's
smart. By the
smart.
Bears.
I do too. Actually, I didn't know he was up at a
It's like
certain date.
It's like the 14th or the 15th.
I thought it just ended right when the season
No,
ends.
the Bears were forcing Dallas's hand.
Yeah, they are. That's doesn't mean they're hiring him.
According to Clarence Hill, guys that are up for head coaching positions, like Mike Vrabel, like Ben Johnson, assistant coaches in Dallas have been peppered by a bunch of them to be on the staffs of these new guys. So look at that. I'm not saying that Ben Johnson has called anybody there, but these guys are it's not going to be just everybody from Detroit. Now, Hank Fraley is the offensive line coach in Detroit. I'm not exactly sure. I think they can deny that. They could probably make him the OC and deny that if Ben Johnson wanted him to come here. I'm sure they don't want to lose Hank Fraley. And maybe that's not even his guy. Just like I said, Antoine Randall L. is he going to be the next OC? Or is it going to be Hank Fraley? I like the idea of it because he's not calling plays anyway. Ben Johnson would be, and I think Hank Fraley is a hell of a fucking offensive line coach that's been around greatness in Philly on the offensive line, has been with a great offensive line coach in Stoutland in Philly forever, and been around greatness on the offensive line in Detroit. I want that in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I want a coach like that that's got that. And if he's connected to Ben Johnson, I think that's a huge fucking asset for this franchise and for Ben Johnson. Because let's be honest, we're going to be in offensive line accumulation mode mostly this offseason.
I want to address what I felt was pretty disgusting in my book.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that Fitzpatrick went out there.
I can try to bring it up, actually. Let me see if I can
and
find
said these things about Flores during the time when the coaching interview process is beginning is not a good look in my book. It looks petty and disgraceful, and the same things you're trying to say about him, you are looking like a hypocrite. If you had said that back in September, whenever, October, November, December, if you had said that then, I totally fucking respect Fitzpatrick's take. But the fact that you're coming out here and saying this now about a guy while he's getting to the point of interviewing for a position is completely negligent in my opinion. It's dumb. And
I understand what you're saying.
It doesn't take into any process of him learning. It's not even necessary to do it. It's already
but if you know, should you just, I mean, so you wouldn't want somebody that was directly connected with him speaking on it?
Play the clip, and I would just keep that opinion, like your side complimenting him and tearing him down at the same time. I don't like that.
Well, he said initially he was fine, but and I'll play it. And he said as it went on, he became a dictator and alienated his own coaches. And
his own coaches.
And this is what he said. He goes, I think Brian is going to run into a big issue with having coaches vouch for him that he's worked with.
Well, he's clearly doing a great job with the Vikings. The one other point that I want to make in this is that there's no context to what ownership did to Flores when Flores did not want to lose. Thought that was, if we're tanking for Tua, it's a disease and something, again, another guy from the Parcells tree that I think isn't okay. If he's keeping it 100, to answer Eric, there's a level of integrity when like I said, you want to talk about this in October and bring this up, then I have no problem with it. Or December. But now that you're at the precipice of this, you're tearing someone down. You're creating controversy around them. He wanted Justin Herbert.
He did, Phil, but my point is that
Herbert.
I don't agree with what. Listen, if he wanted Herbert, I get it, and that's your head coach, and you wanna provide the head coach.
Bro, he didn't want Herbert. He fucking wants it, like pleaded.
Right.
Didn't want to lose. Said
So
Herbert.
then
That'd be like me and you, and they take fucking Jaden Daniels on us. Me and you
get it,
fighting.
but
for.
then
I'd
he
be
didn't
fucking
get
livid.
Herbert, and you see the way that his attitude was with Tua, that he all admitted to, by the way. Tua said he called me a piece of shit and a bitch every single day, and that I did not belong in the NFL. And Flores admitted to it. So I think that there's a lot of blame to go. And I'll just play this. It's
play it.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Flores has been a really hot name, and I think the further removed we get from his tenure in Miami, the more people kind of forget about how that ended, and the better his name becomes. You know, he went to
Usually
Pittsburgh and got to
clean
learn
yourself
under Mike
up
Tomlin
and grow.
and see how he led. And now he's been in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. I think the interesting thing with Brian Flores, when I think about him and being able to play under him for a few years, is which version of Brian Flores are we getting? And in year one, with Miami,
the guy that grows up
that year, Miami got rid of every good player they had, and that was the jokingly called the tank for Tua year.
He didn't get
halfway
down
through that year. We hadn't won a game yet, and there was a shift in the way that he was approaching his job. He was likable. He was relatable. He demanded a lot out of the players, but he was also able to get the best version of his players. And I really appreciated him for that. But as his tenure went on in Miami, he kind of became unrecognizable. A lot of the staff he brought over from New England, that was where, you know, he cut his teeth in the NFL, was there for 15 plus years.
I just think it's him being honest.
But I think he's going to have a really hard time.
He doesn't put the perspective.
If you're
and growth
interviewing
at all
him as a head coach,
right
I
here.
think in the interviews he'll be likable, he'll be relatable. But when people say, okay, give me somebody from Miami that coached under you as a reference so we can talk to them, I think he burned a lot of bridges there. I think he alienated himself from the entire staff. Instead of what you were just talking about, having the humility to ask questions, to collaborate. I think by the end of his time there, he became a dictator. He ruined a lot of those relationships that he built up through the NFL. And his ego grew so big that there wasn't any room for anyone else. And so that was why he got released at the end of his tenure in Miami. I hope, you know, we love Mike Tomlin as a leader. And I know you have some experience with Kevin O'Connell, that whole collaboration thing. I think that's, you know, McVay and the people that come up through that system, for Flores to be able to watch Kevin for a year. I hope that helps him.
Yeah,
because he certainly
He
needs
went
some
with
help in that
Tomlin
department.
too. You see what I'm
not
saying?
necessarily being a dictator and having a collaboration
Well, I
with the
think that's
whole
what he's
staff
saying.
and having a
He
lot of
hopes
different
so.
voices
No.
and how they put together.
Pull it back. Watch what he said. I hope with you just skipped over the fact that he was with Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin said this is the best head coaching candidate out there.
But Phil, how many coaches from Mike Tomlin's tree have been hired as head coaches in his career? Do you know how many?
No, I have no idea.
0.
Right, but that's where Tomlin is saying it. This guy's the
Right,
best.
but
He's
Andy
not
Reid
under
also said-
Tomlin's tree.
Andy Reid also said the same
He's
thing
under the
about Matt Nagy.
Parcells tree, Belichick tree.
Andy Reid also said that Matt Nagy was the most talented coach that he had ever been associated with. So, like I said, everybody, no matter who they are, have their swings and misses. I don't think what Ryan Fitzpatrick said there is that divisive. I mean, if he came out and said, listen, he's a fucking scumbag and he's a piece of shit and anybody that hires him is crazy, I think he was calm and collected and just fucking honest about what he what he said because he was
No,
there.
there's just levels of he's skipping over. He skips over Pittsburgh. What he did there.
Brought up Mike Tomlin. He brought him up. He said Mike
skipped over. He says, I hope what he did with Kevin will.
No, but he brought up Mike Tomlin first, Phil, in that clip. He brought up his name. I'll back it up, man. He literally says his name about.
I hear him say Tomlin, and then he doesn't.
I was there for 15 plus years as an assistant, but I think he's going to have a really hard time. If you're interviewing him as a head coach, I think in the interviews he'll be likable, he'll be relatable. But when people say, okay, give me somebody from Miami that coached under you as a reference so we can talk to them. I think he burned a lot of bridges there. I think he
burned
alienated
bridges there based on an owner asking you to tank. He became.
But why would you burn
let me
bridges
just
with
let
your
me just tell you.
coaches, Phil?
I'm going to tell you because there was guys wanting his
but
job,
not
talking shit behind his back.
not
I
all of them.
guarantee.
But not all of them.
He didn't say all of the coaches.
He said he burned bridges with his coaches.
A lot of coaches. I mean, we're battling over semantics, but I know
I get
in
it. But
situations where somebody you can't trust the people that are coaching with you, that they're second guess. Oh, he should have did this. He should.
well, let's just.
We should have just tanked
play
it.
the Tomlin part.
from the entire staff instead of what you were just talking about, having the humility to ask questions, to collaborate. I think by the end of his time there, he became a dictator. He ruined a lot of those relationships that he built up through the NFL. And his ego grew so big that there wasn't any room for anyone else. And so that was why he got released at the end of his tenure in Miami. I hope, we love Mike Tomlin as a leader. And I know you have some experience with Kevin O'Connell, that whole collaboration thing. I think that's, McVay and the people that come up through that system.
He's talking about all of
Flores to be able to watch Kevin for a year. I hope that helps him.
Kevin for a year
because he
But
certainly
Phil,
needs some help in that department.
He's talking about all of
not
them.
necessarily being a dictator.
He was with
and
Tomlin for
having
a
a
year.
collaboration with
You
the
know what I
whole
mean? He's
staff
talking
and
about
having a
all
lot
of
of different voices and how they put together.
Well, I'm just saying, some people get humbled. I've been a head coach.
I get it.
I've seen disloyalty behind me, and I would burn a bridge by calling it out, and people play victims. They play victims. So I can project seeing that. I saw it happen to my Uncle Sam with Marty Schottenheimer. A lot of people, Marty's a great coach. I think Marty's was a piece of garbage.
Don't you think that Ryan Fitzpatrick would be on his side if he didn't want Tua?
Well, I think
he was a quarterback.
I think Fitzpatrick was friends with Tua, mentored Tua. So I think there's a little bias that fans like Logan don't put into that. I think Yeah, he's going to side with. He saw how he treated Tua, but Tua, I was told by a player as well. Fortunately, the player doesn't want to come on and talk about it. That Tua was a little bitch guy, and he did run his mouth and be disrespectful to Coach Flores in front of everybody.
There is another follow-up today that Ryan Fitzpatrick himself put out there, and this is, well, just let me back this up.
I'm not.
I'm
going to risk it because
still
I know
trying
what
to
a
figure
coach
out Twitter.
Flores
Here
is.
is more of the Flores conversation. So this is from Ryan Fitzpatrick himself.
One of the most important things too is how did he treat other people in the building? And if you ask the training staff, if you ask the equipment guys, if you ask the people that serve the meals, the custodians, everybody in that Miami building loved him.
That's
on that
awesome.
side of the ball. It just became such a
Coaches
power-driven
backstabbing
ego trip in the coaching meeting rooms of it is my way or the highway. There wasn't a collaboration. I heard some horror stories after I left.
It could be a lot of pussy.
So I think he's going to have a hard time getting some
Let's
guys
look
on
at that staff. Let's
Yes,
see
I would
who's
love
on
to
that
coach
staff.
for that guy again. That being said, I do think he's learned a lot. And I do think that he's shown, the
Which
job
one
that
is
he's
it?
done
You
in
hope
Minnesota
or
this
he
year
did?
has been unbelievable.
Why are you
He's
so
such a
adamant on
relatable
Brian
guy
Flores right now,
when he
Phil?
just is himself.
But he's not.
And I think that's the most important thing for him. And hopefully the thing he's learned the
Ivan,
most
pay
is
attention to
you
where
are
this
enough.
started.
You don't have to be
I said it's
anybody else. You
not
don't
good
have to
timing
try
to
to
do
imitate
this.
Bill Belichick.
Some
But he's-
guy that's doing
None of that was
going out.
divisive. None of that was divisive.
He's just saying.
I
exactly what
disagree. I don't think it's the time.
But Phil, if
that.
you were a former head coach in the NFL and a fucking another media member or somebody came to you and asked you about another fucking coach, like if somebody came and asked you about Matt Eberflus, are you gonna fucking go on? Are you gonna go on the radio and defend Matt Eberflus so he can get another job? Or are you gonna tell the fucking truth about Matt Eberflus? It's the same thing.
No, here's the difference. It's not a coach saying it. It's a player who had a relationship with the other player in Tua, which he has compassion for. I can put it into its proper perspective. I also recognize the tanking thing. It starts there. Then there's a race thing. Has anybody read the filing of why he's suing for race? So add that layer to his frustration. And some of his coaches were disloyal.
But Phil,
Logan's never been a coach.
But
You guys,
Phil, let me ask you this:
when you're talking shit, that's the worst thing.
But who hired them?
No, that's
he
you
hired
can
those
hire.
coaches.
We hired people here that did disloyal shit. Is it on us or them that we get rid of them?
Both. It's both.
Exactly. So, but it's still you're the fucking head coach. So it's all going to go back onto you. He's the easy target. I'm just putting it into perspective. Timing, player, and all these other layers shouldn't have been the time. Everything I'm saying is saying if he put that out there in October and he put it out there in November, I wouldn't have any problem with it.
Yeah,
to your point. But the timing of this is sussy. And I don't like it.
Because
It's
you're
a
in the head coach
podcast,
cycle. That's why.
And it's a head coach.
I know. Just stay it away.
I don't think
you're trying to promote the podcast first and foremost, but then, like Shane said, you're in the head coaching cycle. Like,
right.
So there's going to be shit that comes out about a lot of these guys that I'm sure people aren't going to like that comes out.
I mean, if Jalen Johnson went out on a fucking podcast,
the Vikings were what in November?
Let's just say that the Dallas Cowboys
they were like 14-1, and Flores' name's out there. Come out and say that. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, guy. That's what a real dude does. I don't think it's loyal that you did that.
Matt Eberflus was in Dallas. Let's just say that Mike McCarthy isn't brought back, and Jerry Jones, being the crazy guy that he can be, is interested in talking to Matt Eberflus. And somebody from Dallas brings Jalen Johnson on to speak and say, hey, you played for this guy. Are you going to have a problem if Jalen Johnson undresses him and fucking airs the fucking clip
Jalen's
out?
different. This guy's a member of the media now. And
But he's a fucking player, Phil. That's what you just said.
I don't agree with it.
It's a player.
I don't agree with it now.
But
it's just, I think people are going to be most interested in it, of course. So I think you're trying to do something for yourself.
So what if it was? What if it was?
Ties
What if
in
it was?
with the topic of today, though?
Right. What if it was Chad Morton, a former NFL player that was a coach on the staff, and somebody in Dallas said, "Hey, you were on Flus's staff," and he aired the clip. He's
okay. I'm just saying there's context to it,
and I don't even think Ryan Fitzpatrick aired the clip. He said what he dealt with specifically in Miami, and he's like, I hope him being connected with Tomlin and with McVay and with Kevin O'Connell. I hope, I've heard that he has gotten better. I don't think what he said is divisive at all. I don't.
It's a little nicey, a little too nice to me. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it. I know I could just put my feet in his shoes in being the head coach, having an owner telling you to tank and lose, and that's against you, and having other coaches whisper to the owner and whisper this kind of shit and have people backstabbing you.
Well, if
and
that's
have
the
this
case,
race-
it would have been the best fucking thing for Brian Flores to do. And I know it's asking a lot, but I've heard people say this about Ryan Poles, that if he wasn't given the latitude to select the next head coach, and that it was going to be Kevin Warren and George McCaskey, even though you're still the GM, that you should just fuck. If the owner came to me and you're a head coach and said, listen, I want you to tank, and you're dead set against it, then you fucking bounce.
Well, that's what he was trying. That was what he was expressing in the media. If you go back and look at that, how do you think we knew that they were trying to tank? He was against it. Then it became the owner was going to fine him. And it became this big thing. So he was trying to take a stand and have a conviction of it. I think he should be applauded for that. But there's a lot of people in your background. You can hire a guy.
Sure.
Then quit. Come on. Stop. This
But
is the
what I'm
kind of
saying-
shit you've never coached.
But what I'm saying
Your
is,
integrity. Ivan would never fucking quit.
No, I'm not going to quit.
Bill would never fucking
Oh,
quit.
I wouldn't walk away
Jane
either.
would never fucking quit. Stop.
And I wouldn't.
You don't
tank.
have to like the guy. You don't have to have. I'm just giving you the perspective of showing exactly what a head coach has to have, the pride of winning. So he's checking that box.
Bears didn't tank for Caleb. That was Carolina's pick.
Thank you, sir.
Skip that comment.
I'm trying to. If you
That
let
was me.
say
That was
it,
me.
okay?
That was me.
It's just he would remember there was like financial. I'm gonna pay you extra if you tank. There was this shit, and then he was calling it out for what it was, being an honest dude, and he was getting backlash and having coaches backstab him because they were probably fucking taking the money. Then you had the fucking coach doing coke lines and shit like that. He didn't
Right.
want
I forgot
that.
about the coach doing
You
the-
had all this shit going down while he's trying, and he was trying to
But
hold
he
this shit
hired
together.
that guy.
Right.
You can't help some of that shit. People have their own hidden things.
But some of these relationships.
We signed a fucking guy with a drug ring, for God's sake.
But Phil,
But you
in 3 seasons,
We had 2 FBI. We had a guy get FBI over here.
in
with
3
Matt
seasons
fucking
in
uniform.
Miami,
He
Brian
stayed on here.
In 3
This
seasons in
fucking
Miami, Brian
craziness.
Flores went through. In 3 seasons, he went through 4 offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
No, that's a concern.
It's
We
a
could
big
talk
one, yeah.
about those things. That'll be. I'm just trying to give a real fucking coaching perspective on some of the backstabbing. Tua was a little bitch. Shane would have never drafted Tua.
I wouldn't have. I'm on the record as saying that, and I'm an
and
Alabama
so was
guy.
the coach. Imagine you taking that hard line of a stance, and you're the head coach, but they do it anyway. There needs to be a lot of context when it comes to that. I appreciate what he said. I'm just saying I wouldn't sell out for Rella. Now it's time.
Who's
Let
the
me say
defensive
my piece. I
coordinator
would have said
in-
it before.
Who's the defensive coordinator in Pittsburgh?
I don't know who the
Currently, is
defense-
anybody? Ivan, can you look that up real quick?
Yep.
Because I mean, I know if I'm Mike Tomlin and I think that this guy is the best coach, the best thing since sliced bread as a coach, I'm not letting him out of my building.
Tyler Austin.
I'm making him.
Oh, wasn't Tyler Austin with us? Coach Austin.
He's
Wasn't
in the
that
second
Terry?
season.
Terrell
Yes,
Austin.
what is it?
Terrell.
The
Terrell. Is it Terrell?
Terrell Austin.
Terrell.
It's
Terrell
spelled.
Austin.
It's spelled
He interviewed here, didn't he?
T-E-R-Y-L.
I don't think he
He
was in
did.
Chicago. I think he
No,
interviewed
didn't he?
at one point.
Tyrell. Is that Tyrell? Is it
I thought
Terrell?
he was here.
Terryl Austin. That's his name.
Yeah, I think he was here at one point.
I think he interviewed here.
All right. He
at
was
one
with the
point.
Lions too, right?
Yeah. Yep. I believe he interviewed back.
We were going to end this show.
I know. God
I
damn
had
it,
to get
Sheree.
Flores
That's
done.
like an
That's
hour and
why
a half.
they love this show. They love this show. Where else are you going to get a debate? I mean, you got to see both sides. I think Flores is a top 5 candidate.
Do you get my point? If he's
He's top 5, but there's concern.
But do you get my point though? If he's that amazing of a coach to Mike Tomlin,
Yeah, but you don't know the context with which he left.
yeah, he wasn't the DC, so he took a promotion in Minnesota to become the DC.
Yeah, but he got added on late with Pittsburgh, and then they already had their DC, so he went to Minnesota with.
Right,
Kevin
but I'm just saying. So in that short amount of time, he said he's the best head coach available.
Well, he's looking not just at the picture of what he experienced; he's looking at what he's doing with Minnesota as well.
I understand. I'm just saying. I
mean, there's no debating. I mean, I know they didn't have the
So in
greatest game against the
2017.
Lions.
So when the Bears hired. When the Bears, it was in the Matt Nagy cycle that Terrell Austin interviewed here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So he was
there you
with
go.
Detroit.
It's Terrell, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's-
Terrell.
Yeah, okay.
Terrell.
You could say Terrell, just don't say Sherry.
I don't think it doesn't even look like it.
It's Sherry,
It looks like
motherfucker.
Terrell. I just didn't want to make it like I don't want to fuck up. So
Oh my God.
Did you guys hear about Cairo Santos?
We're gonna get out of here. There is no BHL anymore, but we will go.
Thank God.
Any
All
kind
those-
of big breaking news, Shane.
All those fucking views. Jesus.
I will have.
Wait, we still have super chats to get
Oh,
through.
fuck. Yeah, don't fuck those up.
I will.
I just remember Clintonio, $1.99.
Wait, Ivan was saying something.
No, I was
Hold
gonna
on.
say. I was gonna say to you guys, I will have tape finished by the end of the week, and then I mean, obviously we're in full
Draft Mob.
So yeah, getting ready for
Draft
draft
Mob.
mob.
Become a patron. The tapeneverlies.com. Oh shit.
Not that we're starting draft mob at the end of the week.
Not yet. No, we are
I'm
not.
having tape ready for Shane and
Right.
Phil at the end of the week.
Shane and Phil are taking this weekend off.
Yeah, we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch the playoffs tomorrow. Notre Dame. Ivan. Notre Dame.
I'm so fucking pumped. I'm a little
It's gonna be
nervous. Not a
Ivan
little- I'm
Vargas.
a lot nervous. I'm really fucking nervous.
Ivan Vargas versus Christopher Sandlin. Steel cage death match.
No, well,
Drew Aller. So I read a mock draft had him going number 4 overall to the New York Giants.
Who?
Aller, the quarterback. Said he's
Really?
coming back, but they said if he gets word that he's going to go high, they had him going 4th overall.
G-Men.
No, the fuck it does, Richard.
see, I like
Danny
I
Dimes. No more.
love Chris Sandlin, but it'll be like when Undertaker threw Mankind off the steel cage.
I forgot to promote.
Key to the game. Notre Dame's got to get the lead. That's the key.
Notre Dame's got to
You don't
get
want
the
to put.
lead.
You don't,
The lead in turnovers. You have
well, right.
to
You
generate
don't want to put
turnovers.
Riley Leonard in a position where he's got to fucking throw the ball to get you back in.
Yeah, exactly. That's yeah, no.
Clintonio.
Sorry.
Let's bring him back up. $1.99. Thomas Brown came in when the damage had been done. Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately.
Yeah, you're not.
Good.
You are not wrong. Chris R, is Ivan okay? I
Yes,
think he blew a
he's here.
gasket last night. Yes.
I
He's
heard
alive.
him. I heard the echo of him around the sun.
Around the subject. I mean, well, you know, somebody has to fucking vent.
That's right. Pepe Sylvia, $5. Fuck George and all of the ownership. Owen would fix this team in a heartbeat if they brought him in on the staff. He knows where the bodies
He
are.
would
buried.
be the Chris
Green
Spielman
Bay.
for the Bears. Totally.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
would help this team.
I'll tell you
out
what. if they fired Ryan Poles, I would be all over Chris Spielman.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Or Olin, but they would never do it.
Milkshake Mike, $10. I'm with y'all. Anything short of Vrabel or Johnson. Not only am I not watching this team. Oh, come on, man.
You're gonna watch the team.
Don't be that guy. It's like, who's the fucking dude that's the friends with us and now he's a fucking who the fucking pivot to that? And listen, if you're gonna change teams, you're gonna change the fucking Vikings.
That was Bubba, my guy Bubba.
Yeah, I was
I
friends.
can't
with him
get
when I was
behind it. Bubba starts, man.
Who the fuck would pick Minnesota? Anyway, I mean, I would never.
I think his
change
wife's
teams.
a Vikings fan, so he just jumped along the bandwagon.
Jesus Christ.
Ride the coattail, get blown the fuck out right when he became a fan.
Not only am I not watching this team until further notice, all my money will be going to y'all, not this putrid team. Love you. Yeah, that's some of the things on some of the people that quit Patreon. They're like, the Bears suck, so I'm not watching their product. Well,
we're not.
Why is that our fault? We're showing you what's wrong, what they need to do to fix it. Take it out on us. Jesus Christ. Gareth Tanswell, $27.99. Wanted to do this Sunday, but just wanted to say thank you to TTNL team. Thanks for all your efforts over the year and coverage of the Bears. Hopefully we get this higher rate. Become a patron. Caleb is the future.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. Chad Speaker, $2. Too many consultants.
Yes.
Too many. He's 100%.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Right.
Too many.
When you're talking to Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel, these guys can have a system where they can listen in and watch whatever. That's fine. But it should be Ryan Poles should be in there. And even if it's Kevin Warren, it's fine.
Kevin and Ryan would be fine for me.
Right. It is what it is.
I think Kevin would be professional and maybe add something that Ryan might have forgot. But having all of these fucking chefs, no. SVPs, Ivan.
Dream coaching staff, head coach Singletary,
Waddle, the O-line
DC
coach.
Rivera, Waddle, O-line coach, running back coach Forte, blocked me on fucking Twitter. Yeah,
listen, are you guys into Super Bowl squares, Shane? I forgot.
Am I into it?
SVFL.
I usually buy into them. I know.
There you go. Are you right here? Can you help out the Southington Valley Wolverines?
Did these fuckers even win a game this year and they're selling Super Bowl squares?
Yes,
Who the fuck is their
team
coach?
won the
I
Super
want to know
Bowl.
who the fuck their coach is.
They won the Super Bowl on the C team. We went to
Can't
the
you hear Brian
playoff.
Flores? Can't hear Brian Flores coaching up. Fuck you, Tata Toshin. Fucking not diving at the 1 yard line.
Bobby, why aren't you fucking blocking all the way through? Throw the whistle.
Oh, your tooth got knocked out. You're 8 years old. Toughen up.
Pussy.
Rub some dirt on it. Right there, Super Bowl squares. You could choose a square. We're going to be supporting it here on TTNL. Fans around the world could join in and play. This is
Ivan,
for
are you
my
selling
ticket
tickets?
to Ivan's gun show.
I'm not selling tickets to the gun show. I'm fucking hot. I was wearing like layers and layers of fucking clothes to stay warm. I'm trying to air out right now. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, if you can, if you like to play the game,
that's the way it goes.
Jump in there.
Southington's
$20.
an expensive fucking place. These fucking kids.
I told them to make it $50 to $90 ones. Make it the big prizes.
We go 1,000.
10 to
Why
20.
not?
They're gonna make some money there and some prizes, and you'll be helping a good cause. So if you like to play that,
50 a pop, Larison's give me 240.
he's supposed to be here tonight. Where is he?
Come on, Jimbo.
We need one. There he is.
Oh my god, Greg, droning on and on. Shut the fuck up, dude.
best drop.
There he is, right there.
You
There's
see my
Sean Stewart.
Do you see my phone is hooked up to Cherie's charger right there?
I just think you guys are just together.
We have one of those things that I can control the vibrations on my phone, and it's hooked up to Cherie. It was so much fucking. Oh my god, she fucking loved it.
Right behind Jim's head, you could kind of see me tweeting out the middle.
Where are you?
Chicago Bears.
Ivan was snorting cocaine off the columns at this point.
Oh my god.
Cars,
That's
myself,
Sean Stewart in
I
the back.
was gonna push that shit over.
Look at how big Riley is, for God's sake. Jesus.
Cars, myself, Sean Stewart, and Riley. We all just fucking went down into the lounge. We're like, fuck this. I mean, it was like the worst fucking game ever. For real.
Patriots, Bears.
Mike Feldner's got like 12 grandkids. Look how young that dude is.
Mike Feldner there on the
I think
right.
it's actually 3 or 4. But
What does
12's
Riley have from the fucking pro shop there?
like $145 sweatshirt.
What the fuck?
Oh, he didn't buy a Dodgers jersey at the Bears.
That was that. Oh, that shit. Yeah. TTNL got me a discount on that one though. On the Shohei one, he's like, TTNL. Aren't you the TTNL guy? And I'm like, yeah, not the.
That's right.
Fuck, I'm the tall TTNL guy. He's like, I don't like that. Who is the fucking producer from Fox, Ivan, at the tailgate?
Oh no, you know what? I got there a little late.
Oh, so I told you, but that was
yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking funny. He came up and introduced himself, and he's like, "Oh, TTNL, love you guys." He's like,
He was mad at me for yelling.
"Where's the short, miserable guy?"
Right here, guy. Right here.
That was funny.
Where's the? I forgot my thought. Fuck. If you're interested in joining TTNL, we're looking for a few good men and women.
Yes.
We're
There he
trying to
was.
find someone that's going to make and create swag right out the gate. If you're a graphics person, and then we're looking for a new swag shop. We have had a lot of complaints about people ordering our swag and it's saying it's canceled or you're not getting it, only to have it show up in the mail 3-4 days later.
I had like 3 or 4 separate orders, and every one of them has said your order has been canceled, and then it just came in anyway. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I know Coach O was pissed off.
Going to tell you shit in your hat and get the hell off.
We need to shit in your hat and get off.
That was him on the phone with Teespring. He wanted his fucking hoodie. He was all
Teespring. They've been terrible. Reach out to me, DM me on Instagram or Facebook, or reach out to Ivan or Shane.
Don't reach out to me. I want nothing to do with it.
We got to get this right. I need good reports back from people with swag. I'm tired of hearing the negative stories. Anyway,
I'm just tired.
I'm tired as hell. Let's get out of here. We'll be covering this coaching search. As Ivan said, Draft Mob will be coming up very soon. And enjoy the playoffs. Playoffs?
I'm not pissed at all, guy. I will. The DMs that drive me, the DMs that do drive me crazy is when Bears news drops and I get 40 DMs like, "Hey, did you see who the Bears signed today?" I'm like, "No, I had no fucking clue. I can't even believe it." No, I don't pay attention to any of
You
this
get
shit.
updates from Schefter. Send them to me because I don't get it. Only if Shane or Ryan Cox send it to me. Bullets will send it to me 6 hours later. Sometimes
I had a bunch of people sending me the music videos of the fucking super fan dude singing in like I think it's the dumbest, most cringeworthy shit.
The parody guy, Spill
The fact that people love it, I'm like, I couldn't give any less of a fuck.
Bullets loves it. That
Bullets love
explains how Bullets doesn't like Angelo, because he thinks that shit is funny, but not Angelo.
True.
I'm Bill Swirsky. What's the best meal?
I love all.
That's not what we're talking about, Sheree, but glad you chimed in there.
Is Bullets okay with the fire? Anyone in LA? I hope you're okay. This fire shit is crazy. It's going down there. Absolutely crazy. Some of the pictures.
Yeah, it is
look like
scary. It's terrible.
apocalypse. So be safe.
I
Keep
will
us
close
posted.
this out.
Let's get out of here. God
We're gonna
bless.
get out of here. That's right. Tomorrow night, live 8 p.m.
Smash
East.
the like.
Cars Keys
subscribe.
is back. It's gonna
Cars
be like
Keys
a
tomorrow.
6-minute show. If I have anything to do with it, Cars will shut the fuck up.
What up, Bear fans? I can't even talk. It's cold, and we just hit the game winner at Lambeau. They got us at home. Been thinking about this game for weeks, and we got them in their place, 51-yarder.
Fuck you, Bullets.
That's for you, Bears fans.
Real quick, who's going to be the Bears coach, Phil? Do we know?